Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Deku refused to attend the same school as Bakugou Part 1. If you guys enjoy this what if and want to see Part 2, comment down below and let me know before I start. Please do support for more awesome content. And leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also share this video with your friends and check out the description in my playlist. So let's start the video. Since all of you wanted to be heroes. And then the teacher threw all the papers into the air as quirks fly around everywhere like it's Christmas morning. Midoriya wasn't really the type to show off and just decided to play with a coin using his quirk. Not much of his peak level of manipulation was an object the size of the head. The smallest he can control are molecules, which aren't that bad. He's been training with his quirk for years in secret since there's really no point in showing off. His max range was 3 meters and bam, he instantly flew out of his seat as he narrowly avoids his bully's quirk. Only one of us are going to enroll to UA, and that's going to be me, you useless piece of shit Deku. Right, this here's Bakugou Katsuki, his former childhood friend and present bully. The only time you're ever gonna enter UA is when All Might finally loses, and he never loses. Whatever you say. Bakugou grabbed his collar with his left hand and lighting a mini explosion with his right. Fuck did you say, you useless nerd? Are you looking down on me? I literally said whatever you say. How is that even looking down on someone? You're dead. No point in arguing with someone very unreasonable. Definitely not another burn mark in my body. Either way, I'm going to UA whether he likes it or not. Class went on as normal for the entire day. The class finished up their work and started packing up, with others planning to go to the mall or sing at the karaoke. Midoriya in particular was just planning to go home, which is quickly ruined by Bakugou swiping his notebook. We ain't done here, Deku. Bakugou, give it back. He never puts in a lot of effort when it comes to Bakugou. He knew it was a lost cause. Hero analysis for my future number 13. You're way over your fucking mind as always. How did you even say hash out loud? He ponders. How the hell did he even say that? Even I don't know. Shut up. Bakugou proceeded to blow up the notebook and threw it out the window. Well shit. Shut the fuck up before I shut you up. I'm the only one who's gonna be a hero in this shitty fucking school. My perfect origin needs me to be the only student here to make it to UA. You hear? What can I say? I'm a perfectionist. Because doing that is exactly what a hero does. Midoriya replied, but Bakugou pretended not to hear and just grabbed his shoulder. He lets out a little spark. Not enough to leave a mark, but enough to hurt all the same. The green-haired student just stood there with a stoic face and took it without a care in the world. Not when he can shut down his pain receptors like that. After dealing with him, Katsuki left for the door and turned towards the green-haired student. If you really wanted to be a hero, go take a swan dive off the roof and hope for a better quirk in your next life. Buddha's fat fucking chin. Do you even know what the hell are you even saying? Bakugou. Yeah, what? More sparks came out of his hands. Yeah, this. He reveals a video camera which he hid in the bag. Bakugou's face paled before propelling himself to try and snatch it away, but it was too late as it disappeared from his hand. Where is it? I dispersed it into the atmosphere. Even if you beat the shit out of me, it wouldn't actually reassemble. You're gonna have to kill me before I could put it back for you. But hey, my quirk's useless, so what the hell, am I right? He explains as he keeps dodging the explosions. You motherfucker. If this ruins my chances of I'm nothing like you. I don't crush other people's dreams. I definitely don't hurt people just cause I can and then call myself the future #1 hero. I'm not gonna show this at UA, at least not yet. I just want to see your mother's face after I sent that video to her. Toodles. He ran away as fast as he can until he knows Katsuki wouldn't reach him. He grabbed his notebook on the way out. It was all going well until he got attacked by a fucking slime though. Is this how I die? To a slimy monster. Gross. He was afraid to die, but his will to live outweighed his acceptance of death. With a single thought, he kept opening holes on the slime villain to buy himself more time until a hero arrives. Have no fear, for I am here. It was All Might, his idol. He was already verge of passing out just as the symbol of peace came into the scene. The wind blast didn't do much help either. He woke up feeling some slight slapping on his cheeks. Holy shit, it's really you. All Might gave out an almighty laugh. It's good to know you're okay, kid. I already signed your notebook so you don't have to worry about my autograph. Anyways, I need to send this villain to the nearest police station. Until next time, young man. Wait. Midoriya wasn't the type of guy to make the best life decisions. Hell, who would cling onto All Might's leg while high up in the sky? Only him, of course. Hey kid, let go. If I let go, I'll die. Oh right, that makes perfect sense. They landed safely on top of a building. You need to be more careful next time, young man. Careful? What's that? Midoriya asks. All Might gave him an awkward smile. He didn't notice the steam coming out of the hero. Right, sorry. I wanted to ask you a question. Ask away, young man, and be sure to hurry. There's more steam coming out of All Might. Holy shit, I am running out of time. Since I was a kid, I always wanted to be a hero, but I have a very weak quirk. I just called it telekinesis since there's no other way I can describe it. Basically speaking, I can manipulate any small objects with the max size being a human head in a range of 3 meters. The smallest size I can manipulate are the size of molecules. The number of things I can manipulate nor the combined weight doesn't really matter as long as I'm within range and as long as it's in the size that I can. Do you think I could? Midoriya is now staring in disbelief at a very thin man surrounded by steam. What the heck? Where's All Might? Why you? Are you an imposter? Calm down, kid. I am All Might. Try to imagine a guy at a pool puffing up his chest to look muscular. That's basically me. All Might explains. Midoriya deadpanned at the lame explanation. Kid, your quirk doesn't matter. As long as you know what to do and as long as you have what it takes to save, you can be a hero. I just wouldn't recommend it on anyone. All Might raised his shirt to reveal a scary-looking scar on his chest. I got this from a fight about 5 years ago. Toxic Chainsaw. No, not him. He wouldn't even be able to get near me. It's some other guy I fought that wasn't revealed to the public at my request. If you have what it takes, you can be a hero. If not, then there's no shame about being a police officer. You got me. The emaciated hero was surprisingly stern with this one, but Midoriya thought that he had a point. Loud and clear, All Might. I guess I just have to work on my technique. Good, and I almost forgot to mention. My true form is a secret that only a few people know. I'd very much prefer it if you don't go around saying it. I'm good at keeping secrets. Do you want me to walk with you to the police station? Well, since I got the time, I guess you can come with me. All Might reached into his pocket only to find out that the bottle imprisoning the villain was gone. Midoriya realized it too as an explosion sounded off in the distance. Bakugou was pissed right now. Not only did that Deku get away from him, but he's gotten away with something that would ruin his chances of ever entering UA. His posse is a lot more useless right now with their shitty apologies and condolences. Shut the fuck up. Come on, dude. I'm pretty sure you went too far with what you said. I hate to say this, but hate to say what. He lets out sparks from his quirk. That easily intimidated his friends. God, I'm right, you should stay quiet when I'm ranting. He kicked a bottle that looks like it contains some kind of vomit and knocks the lid off in the process. Fuck. Dude. What the fuck do you even want? Behind you. Bakugou looked behind him to discover a recently escaped slime villain. Ooh, a vessel with a good quirk. Very, very nice. The explosions came from down that street. He knew it was. This is all his fault. If he hadn't hung on to All Might, maybe the hero would have never dropped it. He looked at the scene to see pure chaos. The heroes couldn't get near the villain since it's shooting off explosions. My attacks won't work on something liquid. I'll leave this to another hero. Death Arms tried to make up an excuse. I have a bad relationship with fire. He at least understands Kamua's reason. A one-lane street. My only weakness. He always knew Mount Lady was a thought. Okay, maybe that's an unfair opinion, but still. Midoriya realized that the heroes aren't gonna do anything unless someone else does something. Too bad. He would have watched along with them until he saw the one who's being trapped inside the villain. It was his bully. This is my fault. Should I save him even after everything he did to me? I don't even know if I should. Right then and there, he made eye contact with Bakugou. It looks like he's afraid. He needs help. That was the last thing he thought before running towards the villain. What the hell am I even doing? My legs are just moving on their own to save the guy that made my everyday life feel like hell. Why? Fuck it. His eyes are the most vulnerable. He quickly grabbed his bag and threw it at the slime. It hits the villain perfectly at the eye and caused him to scream in pain. About 3 meters. I'm in range. I'm not gonna like this, but... With a wave of his hand, both the villain's eye exploded. The villain cried out even more in pain. You shitty brat. He roars as he tries to hit him, but every attack missed. Midoriya quickly used his quirk to take control of part of the slime's liquid body and opened it enough to let Bakugou's hands be freed. I don't need your help, you shitty Deku. Yeah, blast that guy off of you and we'll talk about this later. Midoriya replies as the villain got lucky and hit him at the torso. It didn't hurt since he managed to shut his pain receptor down, but the damage is already done. That's definitely gonna leave a bruise. Bakugou acted quickly and blasted the slime off of them as Midoriya manages to pull him out. The villain's eye has now regenerated, but from the looks of it, it's incomplete. I see you now, you fucking brat. Oh cool, he can regenerate. Are those seriously your last words, you useless fucking nerd? The villain managed to send out slime tentacles to grab their legs and pin down Bakugou's hands. Thought anything better, you prick? The villain raises his tendril as the heroes tried to run towards them as they finally have an opening. We can't let that kid die in vain. They all screamed. Yeah, I got something better. Bakugou clears his throat. Fuck you, puke face. The slime's tendril goes down like an axe as both the students closed their eyes. The hit never came. They opened their eyes to see All Might blocking the hit for them. I thank you, young man. If it weren't for you, I would have never acted. You truly proved yourself worthy of becoming a hero. All Might. No. All Might yes. Detroit. Smash. All Might plunges his fist like an uppercut towards the villain. It completely obliterated the slime and let out a very strong blast of wind which was enough to knock both of the students unconscious. Izuku woke up and he's Lil Dicky. Just kidding. No, that's just him hallucinating. He woke up to see that heroes were both complimenting and reprimanding him for what he did. That was real risky, kid. You did a good job, but next time, let the pros risk their lives, okay? He nodded in response, but he was busy staring back at Bakugou, who was glaring holes at him while he's getting much more praise than he had, even though he destroyed the street with his quirk. He nodded them goodbye before leaving his merry way. He was walking down the street when out of the corner of his eye he saw an angry thing approaching him. Listen, you shitty little fuck. I never needed your help. I'll be the #1 hero, you hear me? Midoriya internally groaned at this embarrassing display. He chose to walk away, which is a pretty bad idea. He heard explosions coming his way as he turned around to see All Might blocking an oncoming attack from Bakugou. All Might, gee, get out of the way and let me explode this useless fuck. I can't allow that, young man. Now, leave before someone gets hurt. No, fuck you. I'm the one who gets to be the hero, not him. I fucking deserve to be one. Okay, that's it, Midoriya thought. He ain't having none of this. He was tired of all this bullshit anymore, and he would have actually want to be a villain. You know what? Screw you, Bakugou. You don't want me to go to UA. Fine. I'd rather take your advice than go to the school that values people like you. What advice? All Might asked, not liking where this is going. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's the one where he said that I should take a 10 out of 10 360 swan dive off the roof and hope for a better quirk in my next life. All Might instantly looked back at Bakugou as the explosive boy paled. How did All Might's smile give more fear than hope right now? Is that so, young Midoriya? I mean, I can show you if you want to see it. That was a rhetorical question. Young Bakugou, we shall talk about this in UA. For now, you're leaving this child alone. You hear me? Yes. He walked away without any more than a few grumbles. When he was out of sight, All Might deflated. What he did to you is, I should have known. Well, the truth hurts. Even you can't save everyone, right? That's why villains are made. Nobody was there to help them. Wise words, my successor. All Might pretended that he wasn't hurt about what he heard. He kept telling himself that it was true. He can't save everyone even if he wanted to, which is why he saves as many lives as he can. Even some villains. Successor. What are you talking about, All Might? Well, I was supposed to go to UA as a teacher to find a successor, but it looks like I already found one. You saved someone who must have put you through a lot. Why? I have no idea. My legs just moved on their own. Izuku nodded. He had no idea why his legs moved to save his bully when it really wasn't any of his business to do so. Young man, do you know what great heroes said when they realized that they wanted to be a hero? At that point he realized what All Might was going to say. He can't help but let a single tear fall down his cheek. They always say the same thing. Their legs moved on their own to save someone. Young man, you too can be a hero. Gee, thanks. I never really heard anyone tell that to me before. He wiped the tear of his cheek and smiled. A real smile, that is. You're worthy of inheriting my power. Wait, what? Jegus, kid. I said you can inherit my power. People usually mistake it for super strength or enhancement, but it's far from that. For 8 generations, this quirk has been passed down to stop the great evils from taking over this world. You, young Midoriya, will be the 9th successor. I can't. All Might spit out blood when he heard that. I just said that I'm not going to UA anymore. I'll just go to any other hero school that isn't UA. All Might laughed at what he heard. Midoriya gave him a confused look. Did I say anything wrong? And no, that's it. I can simply adjust for you, young man. I still have a job as a teacher in UA, but I can call in a favor from someone. Which school would you want to go to? Midoriya thought about it for a while. Somewhere far away from UA is possible, where it has the same quality of education as UA. He already knew what to say. Shikzu. Ring, wait. Let me answer my phone. It was his older sister. Oh shit. He answered it quickly. Midoriya James Izuku. James isn't even a part of his name. She just made it up. Oh, hey, big sis Tatsumaki. You're going home this instant, Izuku. Right away, sis. Important call. Izuku nodded. Very well. Meet me at Dagaba Beach tomorrow and I shall explain more to you. Oh, okay. He put his phone on his pocket and ran as fast as he can home. The moment he entered the door, a fist made contact with his chest. He pretended to recoil from the damage. He's looking at his older sister, who was somehow smaller than him. Tatsumaki. The day I went on a raid. A fucking raid. Is the day you had to risk your life for a jerkass. Mom and Dad raised a bunch of dumbasses. Midoriya Tatsumaki, hero name. Tornado age, 20 years old, quirk, superior telekinesis, Izuku's older sister. Graduated from UA and is currently one of the rising heroes. Has tsundere issues. Didn't they raise you too, big sis? That earned him another punch to the chest. It hurt, but not enough to knock the wind out of him. Idiot. That was an expression of speech. Okay. How's Kai? Little Fubuki is currently waiting for Mom's match to start. Oh fuck, I forgot. I can't miss Mom's fight. He quickly ran to his room to quickly change to his everyday clothes. A green shirt with the word shirt on his and shorts. He hurriedly ran to the TV and beside and patted 𝗵𝘃𝐲 on the head. Hey there, Lil Kai. Hey, big brother. She smiled as she focused back on the TV. Midoriya 𝗵𝘃𝐲. Age, 8 years old quirk. Aerokinesis Izuku's younger sister. He spoils her a lot. A kind-hearted cinnamon roll with lots of friends. Avoids Katsuki at Izuku's request. On this corner, defending her title for the World Championship. The counter-attacking Scotswoman who beats you down and never lets up. 𝗵𝘃𝐲 booed at the screen while giving a thumbs down. She's clearly biased for her mother. Izuku was busy doing her hair to even bother knowing who the champion is. Tonight, the title's gonna change. Tatsumaki, on the other hand, is very focused on the screen to make sure that no dirty play happens to her mother. And on this corner, she raised 3 kids and a husband. The psychokinetic storm of death. 𝗵𝘃𝗧𝗵𝗲 𝗵𝘃𝐻𝐻 cheered at the announcer's introduction of their mother while Izuku and Tatsumaki gave a smirk, clearly having pride for her. And then there was a knock at the door. All 3 of them groaned at the same time. Izuku, get the door. No, Lil Kai, you do it. Big sis should do it. No, Izuku will do it. He did something stupid today. The 3 of them argued back and forth. Fine, let's settle it with a little game then. Tatsumaki uses her quirk to take 3 sticks. Whoever gets the shortest answers the door. Izuku and 𝗵𝘃𝐲 nodded their heads. 𝗵𝘃𝐲 pulled the longest one. Tatsumaki pulled the one at middle length. Fudge, he's not allowed to swear with 𝗵𝘃𝐲 around. He is a good brother. He stood up and left 𝗵𝘃𝐲's hair unfinished and opened the door. Oh, it's just you, he said with sarcasm but no hostility in his voice. Sup, fam, good to see you. Well, 𝗬𝗵𝗲. Saw you in the news today and you was totes mad. Did you really have to go full YOLO on that guy? No matter how many times he talked to her, Izuku still has some issues with how she says things. He knows that she's messing with him. Just get inside, 𝗬𝗵𝗲. 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗲 quirk. Glamour Midoriya's next door neighbor and best friend. Taller than him like, he only reaches up to her forehead. Don't let the way she talks fool you. Low-key genius. But I gotta say, 𝗬𝗵𝗲, I was low-key worried about you. Like, holy shit, you're run to the fucking shit monster. She exclaims while frantically waving her hands as Izuku pushes her to the living room to sit down. Nice to see you, Ms. Illusions. 𝗵𝘃𝐲 says cheerily at her while Tatsumaki gave a single nod. Nice to see you too, fam. 𝗬𝗵𝗲 had a good relationship with the Midoriyas, especially Izuku and 𝗵𝘃𝐲. And that's another counter-strike from the defending champion. Will there be a new champion tonight or will the title remain? Their mom never let them watch her matches at the stadium if it happens on their school days. That cocky by-witch, kick her arse, mom. Izuku was getting hyped as the match starts its 12th round. It was a close match with neither looking like a clear winner. Midoriya and Co hasn't used her trump card yet. The 12th was pretty much going back and forth with both bruised and beaten. Mira was at her quirk's limit while the Midoriya sibling's mother hasn't used hers yet. Come on, mom. Use that eye trick you taught us. At that exact moment, their mom went in for the uppercut which Mira tries to block, but that was just a trap. And Co only put her hand in an uppercut position to pull down Mira's eyelid. She followed up by positioning her left hand and using her quirk to pull Mira's head towards her. Mira had no time to react when Co hit her with a powerful haymaker to the head as she goes down. The referee started counting to 10. The Midoriya siblings and 𝗬𝗵𝗲 was on their feet as the referee is halfway to his countdown. 7, 8, 9, 10, knockout. And there you have it, folks. The new featherweight champion. 𝗵𝘃𝗧𝗵𝗲𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺 1. Big brother, Mom 1. I know, Lil Kai. I know. Oh, I am totes tweeting this. Do you really have to tweet about everything? Yep. Kami shows her phone to Izuku where it says best friends mom just legit won a world championship. Gotta hand it to ya, Izuku, you got one hell of a parent. That doesn't sound right in my head. Just saying. He rubbed the back of his head as he cringes at what he just read. He was about to kick her out, but Fubuki had other ideas. Big brother, can she have a sleepover with us? And have another misunderstanding when mom gets home? That misunderstanding being the fact that Kami sneaked into Izuku's room and slept beside him on his bed. The next morning, he was cuddling at her boobs deep asleep until he was woken up by his mother's scream as she enters the room to wake him up. Worst misunderstanding ever. Mom and Tatsumaki thought that there's some kind of sexual tension between them and it made the family dinner really awkward. Pretty please. Midoriya Izuku quirk. Close-range telekinesis weakness. Puppy dog eyes and Ko's precious son. Hisashi's main shield from his wife's wrath. Also a low-key genius. Fubuki's favorite brother. Fubuki's only brother. Did you really have to use my one weakness? Fine, she can sleep in your room or both of you can sleep at the living room. If Big Sis is fine with that, I'll go ahead and lock my room. He looked at Tatsumaki, expecting her to refuse so she could save him the suffering. Her sadistic smirk says otherwise. He shook his head because he knew what was happening. Tatsumaki nodded her head. Big Sis, are you kidding me? Nope. Ugh. Yeah. Fubuki and Kami both cheered. Izuku was busy crying in the corner. I just got suffocated by a slime villain, you know. And dealing with your best friend for the night is my chosen punishment for you. Fair enough. He sighs as he trudges back to his room and fall onto his bed. And then he sent Katsuki's video to Mitsuki. Sweaty Fashionista has started bothering procrastinating webhead SF. Thank you for sending me this important video, Izuku. TW. Ain't no prob mom. Sweaty Fashionista has stopped bothering procrastinating webhead. He shuddered at the same time as Mitsuki Bakugou started unleashing hell on Katsuki. He's so gonna die next week, but it was all worth it. He started recapping everything that happened this day, which just became the best day in his life. He met All Might, his mom won, and he sent the video. Some good things are finally happening to him. What you got there, 𝗧𝗵𝗲? Mostly good things. Even if he doesn't want to admit it, Kami was his closest and only friend. It's too bad that she went to some other school. Ooh. Go stop being it soon, dear, 𝗧𝗵𝗲. She playfully pats his head as he lies face down on his bed, murmuring about her being annoying. Did this bitch ass really just say that to you? Come on, man. You can totes go ham on this guy real quick. Why don't you just own him already? That doesn't make me any better than he is. Nothing bad about defending yourself. Too lazy. He whines as he turns and lies on his back. Kami then lied on his stomach. Come on, 𝗧𝗵𝗲. You gotta start trying again. That salty AF bitch ass might win if you don't do anything. He's too distracted about me not doing anything. He thinks I'm looking down on him even though I usually just ignore him. Izuku always thought that Katsuki was not right in the head. It was proven many times that he's right. Too right. What he did to some of his other classmates. He shuddered. Bro, stop imagining him doing shit. I can feel it through your stomach. I'll imagine anytime I want. Okay, maybe I'll stop if you don't force my head between your boobs every time you sleep in my room. You being taller already makes me feel insecure. How the hell does me being taller correlate to my tits? I don't know. Maybe his interactions with Kami is already making him random. While he enjoys a good meme, he has to deal with a literal meme lord every single day. Not the best but not the worst either. Either way, she knows him a lot more than his classmates do. 8. So, is still planning on going to UA. UA's not really my drift, so I'm gonna have to pass that. I could, but I wouldn't. Nah, someone inspired me to go somewhere else. That somewhere being Shiksu. Kami immediately sat upright and smacked him in the stomach. He groaned in pain as he reflexively sits up. Kami, what the hell? No shit, you going to the same school I'm going. That's mad lit, 𝗧𝗵𝗲. She was giving him some painful pats at the back, and I thought I could get away from you. PFFD. Nah, you ain't ever getting away from me, baby. Unfortunately or fortunately. He can't. He laid back down and wondered what could All Might possibly have planned for him tomorrow as Kami lays beside him while texting on her phone. Got something on your mind, 𝗧𝗵𝗲? Nope. I feel like shit. That slime villain obviously smells like shit, looks like shit, and tastes like shit. Maybe I should call him Shipman when I meet him again. You're tired, bruh. You gotta get some sleep in and you'll be fine. Maybe she was right. Midoriya's eyelids did feel heavy. He closed his eyes and woke up feeling so horny. Not really. He woke up feeling like shit and feeling something touching his back. Luckily that was just Kami's foot. I am jealous by the fact that she can sleep through an alarm. He looked around to see that he is in some kind of winter wonderland, and she's sleep quirking again. He closed her mouth, which immediately caused the illusion to dissipate. He left a note to her about some weird excuse that she will probably believe and left to take a shower. The warm water falling down on him at least made his migraine a little less painful. After the shower and dressing up, he found an already made breakfast on the table and his dad peacefully sleeping on the couch with a messy hair. Tatsumaki left early for hero work. Made you breakfast. Don't mind me sleeping on the couch. Found you sleeping with a girl in bed. I know she's your best friend, but that doesn't make me any less proud of you. Daddy smiled a little and gave a tired sigh even though he just slept. He never knew why. After eating his breakfast, he went outside the house and started his trip to the Dagaba beach. There he saw Skinny Might waiting for him. How's your morning, young Midoriya? Fine. A little migraine here and there. A cup of tea always helps me ease those things. Perhaps we can go to a tea shop right now. No, you have to tell me what the hell is up with your quirk, Midoriya said while holding his hand up in a polite decline of potentially good tea. Very well. Where shall I start? I already told you that my quirk's name is one for all. Of course, it isn't just a super enhancement quirk with a catchy name, no. It is a quirk passed down like a torch from generation to generation. Passed down. Believe it or not, quirks like that exist. Or at least, this exists. It is the quirk created to vanquish evil in this world. The current holder cultivates and nurtures the quirk before he passes it down to their successor, who is destined to be even stronger than them. A quirk to surpass every other quirk. This is kinda a lot to take in, and you kinda marked me as your successor. Am I really worthy? He asks, wondering if he actually is deserving of a quirk that powerful. I wouldn't have picked you if you weren't. All Might pats his head while giving him a thumbs up. Midoriya looks away with a flustered face. There's gotta be other guys better than me. You know, like, they're probably just a few walks away. They could probably save the world from crisis. I won't lie, young Midoriya. There may be people better than you, but I chose you, he said with confidence and assurance in his voice. He knew that Midoriya secretly lacked any real confidence, so the least he could do right now is tell him the truth. So, it's just luck. Maybe. But it's also a good sign. A good sign for what? That I could still avoid death as much as I can. All Might thought to himself before waving it off, and continued to explain why he brought the young teen to the beach. Today, your body is not ready to receive one for all. I thought I was worthy. Yes, you are, but your body might explode because it could not handle such power yet. I wonder if I could use my quirk to hold my eyes. All Might suddenly coughed out blood while Midoriya wonders to himself, startling him out of his thought process. Are you alright, All Might? Please, don't make me think of a mental image of you struggling to keep yourself together from exploding. And call me Mr. Yagi in public. We don't want to raise any suspicion. Makes sense. So, why not work out at the gym? Apart from helping you train your body by clearing at least a fourth of the beach from garbage, this shows you one of the more mundane parts of the hero. To be more specific, the core parts of a hero. Defeating the villain and saving people is one thing, but helping out the community is another. Sounds about right, but holy shit, where do I start? All Might pointed at a refrigerator, buffed up, and sat on it. Pull this. Should be easy enough. It wasn't easy enough. He barely pulled this thing for 5 meters, and it's already been 10 minutes. All Might, you weigh like a truck. How the hell am I supposed to clear this garbage? Instead of an answer, All Might took a picture of him. Come on, man, don't take pics of these six-pack ribs. It's worse than I thought. Very well. From now on, you will also be adjusting your diet. Mostly protein and fat to get some flesh muscles in on you. So, kinda like my mom's diet. What is her diet? Something of a pro boxer. I mean, she kinda is the new featherweight champion. All Might spot out more blood in shock of the teen's parent. Yurinko's son. You know her. Know her. She defeated me in my first year at UA during the sports festival. She valiantly refused to be transferred to the hero course, preferring to stay in the general studies in exchange of someone else being transferred. Noble but scary woman, back in the day. Mr. Yagi, please don't try to date her. She's married. I simply admired her tenacity. Getting beaten by her in the first round only inspired me to train harder. I would not have become who I am today without her. All Might imagine the time she delivered a haymaker to his face and uppercutted him right in the stomach before giving him a black eye with her signature pull jab technique. Maybe he might have not enjoyed it when it happened, but it's enjoyable now that a few punches changed the way he is. It sounds like you enjoyed getting beaten senseless by someone, Mr. Yagi. Are you a masochist? And there goes another cough of blood and another startled scream. You can be too much sometimes, young Midoriya. And I just met you yesterday. Sorry, bad habit. Snark comes from years of people trying to bring you down. That's another issue that All Might wanted to work out. Unfortunately, it would be almost impossible to convince the young man to attend UA instead of Shiksu, as he already made up his mind. He will just have to respect his protégé's wish and adjust accordingly. Enough talk. Back to moving this trash. 3 months later. You can rest for now. You've done enough for the past hour. Midoriya adjusted the schedule that All Might gave him to something much harsher, and claiming that he has to work harder than everyone else to catch up. The boy now just barely had enough sleep just to make sure he stays fit. Admirable in moderation. The hero adjusted it a little more so to make sure that the teen does not push himself hard to death. Sarcastic as Midoriya may be, he's still a hard worker. The kid took his advice and laid down, breathing heavily on the sand under the sun. It was a Saturday morning, after all. I got a question, Mr. Yagi. What is it, young Midoriya? You ever get scared when you jump off a building? I mean, it's really high and stuff. I'm always scared when I jump off buildings, young Midoriya. My master actually had to push me off one to force me to stop being afraid. I stopped noticing since until I got my injury. I never knew when my body would fail me and leave me as a thin man falling down to his death, but it never came. You don't have to stop being afraid, young Midoriya. It's just a leap of faith. You'll eventually stop noticing that you were afraid. Midoriya stayed silent for a while after that. He could probably not reach All Might's physique, so he had to try something else. He had absolutely no idea on what the fuck he's gonna do. His training went on until he's too tired to do it, and All Might sent him home for the day. You went over your limit today, young Midoriya. Nothing bad about resting. He needed to work harder if he wants to be a hero. A lot harder. He's currently lying down in his bed thinking about what he can do. Hey, 𝗧𝗵𝗲, have you been working out? I could slightly feel abs growing out of you. He looked at 𝐒𝐽𝐵 with a confused stare before lifting his shirt up to reveal that his six-pack ribs are slowly turning into abs. Yeah, I've been hitting the gym and cleaning the trash out of 𝗧𝗵𝗲 beach. Never knew that you'd do charity work. Pretty lit if you ask me. Why do it though? Figured that if I wanted to make a difference, I gotta start somewhere small. 𝗧𝗵𝗲 beach sounded like a good start. Besides, I can't just use my quirk for everything, now can I? Makes sense. I don't want to brag, but I can kick your ass if you don't have your quirk. Like, a massive ass whooping so good that it would shake the earth to its very core. Like, I ain't even using 0.1% of my power to kick your ass. If you're trying to do those memes, I'm going to sleep. 8. G-Night, 𝗧𝗵𝗲. Don't shove your foot in my face this time. But you liked it though. Shut up. Seriously. Good night. 6 months later. Oi. 9 months in and you already cleared the entire beach. Oh my goodness. All Might acted quickly as he transforms and catches Midoriya before he can get a rough landing. You went beyond my expectations, young Midoriya. However did you do that? I kinda had to also train my quirk, you know. Of course, how could I forget? You cleared 1/4 of the beach and used the rest to train your quirk. More like cleaned 3/4 of it and used the rest to train my quirk. Kinda felt like cheating, still. NONESENSE. You did what I told you to. You did more than enough. Now, look at this. The hero showed Midoriya what he looked like 9 months ago. After a lot of time filled with hard work, his six-pack ribs turned into six-pack abs. Now, eat this. All Might says casually as he plucks out one of his hair and offers it like a cookie. What? You heard me, boy. Eat this. All Might says as he shoves the hair towards Midoriya's face. But that's not part of my diet. All Might gave out a hearty laugh. You never failed to amuse me. But seriously, eat this. It tasted like shit. Now, would you like to go have some tea? You know what? I'll take you up on that offer. The tea tasted great. You should try out for the UA entrance exam. And then Midoriya spat out his delicious tea. He did not expect that shit. Wah, hear me out. I won't expect you to attend UA, but I would like you to utilize the entrance exam as a warm-up for you and your quirk. Midoriya had to agree with that. He needed to test the quirk out on targets, and what's better than targets made of cold hard steel? He contemplated on that idea and eventually nodded his head in agreement. What could possibly go wrong? The next day, this did not end well. Midoriya choked out a sob as he said that. His arm is being inspected by All Might after he just broke it. It worked the first time I used it. To be frank, I'm not as buff as you. We might want to have this treated. Good thing I knew Recovery Girl. Can I get an autograph after she heals me? Midoriya, your arm is severely broken right now. How are you so casual about this? I can turn off my pain receptors, but not for shit. Okay, fuck. It hurts. He hissed in pain as he clutches his broken arm. All Might quickly transformed and shoulder carried Midoriya off to Recovery Girl for you, then. When they got to Recovery Girl, they were both met with a cane to the face. The #1 hero can't even teach a young boy to punch correctly. Toshinori, you need to be more careful in handling your student, she says as she steps on the blonde man's foot. He yelped in pain and spat out some blood. Sorry, I caused you trouble, old lady. Don't worry about it, young man. Just be more careful next time and bear in mind. This man right here is an incompetent teacher, she says while pointing at All Might, who is still massaging the pain out of his foot. After a 30-minute rest, they thanked her before going back to 𝗧𝗵𝗲 beach. What if I use 1 for all to boost my telekinesis? I don't know, I never tried that. Did he really just say that? All Might never had telekinesis. Midoriya quickly concentrated on a pot and tried to use 1 for all infused telekinesis on it. He quickly pushed the pot about 100 meters. What's more impressive about that is that he didn't lose hold of it until it was about 6 meters away. My range doubled. At least there's progress. Now, we'll be doing this for an entire month. Try not to put 100% in everything. All Might gives him a thumbs up and a proud smile. Now they are making some progress. Thud, and he got judo flipped again into the floor. 𝗬𝗵𝗲 3. 𝗧𝗵𝗲 1. I told you I'd kick your ass. I'm the baddest bitch in the planet, 𝗬𝗵𝗲 says as she sits on Izuku's stomach. You got lucky, he excused as he panted on the ground. And get your fat ass off my stomach. How'd you know I have a fat ass, 𝗧𝗵𝗲? She teases as Izuku sighs. She offered to teach him how to fight. It was free, so who was he to refuse? He almost regretted doing this. Okay, maybe he did, but OFA and his original quirk would mean nothing if he can't fight. She only knew judo and Muay Thai. He hates both of those, but he'd rather know something over nothing. No point in being a picky little bitch over this one, as he says. If he's being honest, he prefers kickboxing more since it draws a parallel to his mom's boxing and also gives him more range than punching and grabbing. Well, at least you got me this time. You got 2 weeks before the UA exams or the warm-up, I suppose, and 3 weeks before the main event. You sure you'll want to take both? I got a bad feeling about this. Don't worry about me. Not too much at least. I can handle it. He was lying. He's nervous about both the exams. The warm-up could be a waste if he doesn't train harder now. What's with the worried look on your face? You're worried about the UA exam? Come on, 𝗧𝗵𝗲. It's not like you're actually attending there, so it doesn't matter if you fail the exam. Just try to test out your abilities and be careful. 8. It'd be a dick move to make this girl worried for you. That includes your family, too. I can't believe I'm saying this, but thanks for that. He smiled sincerely at her as she holds out her hand to help him stand up. He took it. You'll want to go hang out at Starbucks after I shower. Well, that makes both of us. Why the hell did we wear hoodies while sparring? She just shrugged as she walks off to the gym's shower room. He did the same thing. After they got ready, they went off to the cafe. So, who's this mystery trainer of yours? Izuku instantly spit out his drink as Kami asks that question. He didn't expect her to ask that. He's like Mr. Miyagi without the mai. Saw what I did with 𝗧𝗵𝗲, so he decided to train me. He was the one that wanted me to do a warm-up on the UA entrance exam. His training has been going well. He unconsciously added 3% of OFA to his telekinesis and caused it to double his quirk's range. Original quirk's range. The headaches he got after receiving one for all was actually his brain getting accustomed to its power. It can only handle up to 7% for now, though. The rest of his body still instantly uses 100%, which earned him a couple of visits to Recovery Girl. He figured that getting his body used to it can come later since the entrance is coming. And besides, why would I turn down that chance? Kami took a long sip from her cup and caused Izuku to deadpan on her. Lit. Just be careful though. He could be some kind of pedo or shit like that. Kick his ass if you need to. Izuku, again, spat out his drink and laughed at the notion of Kami unknowingly accusing All Might of being a pedophile. What's so funny, 𝗧𝗵𝗲? Don't tell me you're into shut up. Don't finish that sentence. Seriously, imagining Mr. Yagi as a pedo is giving me a headache. He almost said All Might. He's sure Kami didn't caught that. Probably. Whatever you say, 𝗧𝗵𝗲. Is Bakugou still fucking with you though? Nah, he's not messing with me. Not yet at least. He only looked once into the explosive blonde's eyes and he already knew that he's planning something. He just hoped that it wouldn't be something new. It's uncomfortable for Izuku to have Bakugou think up of new ways to hurt him. He's planning something, ain't he? If he attacks me, he ain't standing a single chance against my illusions. Besides, I also have my ultimate move, which is running away while letting her illusion self get beat up. I know you can deal with him, but he's crazy and unpredictable. Mostly unpredictable. He starts a fight with his right arm, by the way. He points out. He doesn't want to admit it, but he cares for Kami a lot more than he lets on. Noted. Are you still sure you'll want to do the UA entrance exam? Could be a waste of time. I mean, when's the only time right now that I can use my quirk on anything that moves? UA entrance exam can help me with that part, at least. Not like they're gonna force me to join. Besides, I hope that low acceptance rate does its part for me. He can't be that good, can he? Unlike Bakugou, he knew that there are other persons better than him no matter how hard he trained. He came to terms with that fact after his 5th beating from his former friend. He just hopes that whoever those persons are, they are not like Bakugou. He's disgusted at himself for thinking of that. He's even more disgusted that he could have been like Bakugou if it weren't for the people that cared about him. No point dwelling in that shit, he thought to himself. Yo, why are you starring at that drink? Don't tell me they didn't add enough milk. Hey, he needs some milk. She screams at the staff as he hides in his hood feeling embarrassed. He knew that she was fucking with him. Kami, please. No, this is too fun, she teased. He sighed in exasperation. What did I do to deserve her? He smiles as the question came in his mind. Tick-tock, BTW. You still gotta do a 20 km run after this. Shit, he forgot. That run took 2 hours. At least he's improving. The day of the UA entrance exam. This is young Midoriya. After a month of training, you can finally test how far you've gotten for now at the entrance exam. All Might pats his head after he finishes his morning run. Today's the day, after all. He just nodded while trying to catch his breath. Let me bring you there. All Might lifted him to his shoulders and jumped away from the beach. They landed a few meters from the entrance. Izuku quickly put on his school uniform by disassembling it with his quirk and reassembling it unto him. All Might bid him farewell and jumped off. Alright, let's see how much I can fuck this up. He stared at the large building in front of him. This used to be his dream school. Now, it's just a grim reminder. Get out of my fucking way, Deku. He turned around to see the man himself. He didn't bother arguing and just stepped aside. Bakugou grunted in response, somehow offended. Welp, this is it. Bakugou put a foot out to trip him on the way. He already accepted his fate of falling face first on the concrete. He never landed. He's floating in the air. Sorry I used my quirk on you. I just thought it would be bad luck to trip. He turned around to see a girl with faint blushes on her cheeks and a chestnut-colored hair. "Thanks, TCH, round-faced bitch ruining my fun," Bakugou says while walking inside. "He's very rude. Is he your friend?" "Nope. Unfortunately for you, he'll probably be a future schoolmate." "Oh, come on. You got as much of a chance as he is in making it here. You can do it. If only they just let good-hearted and capable people in." He's not the type to judge people instantly, but he already liked this girl. "Thanks for the help though. Let's just get on with this." They both entered the school. In front of them right now is present Mike, a hero. Everyone say hey. Unfortunately, even Mike's hyping can't knock away their nervousness. Izuku was busy muttering about Mike. "Shut the fuck up, you damn nerd. People from the same schools are placed in separate areas. Too bad. I was planning of pulling you in an alleyway and fucking you up." "Nice way of phrasing that," he said, not caring that he just got threatened. "I have a question." A guy wearing glasses suddenly raised his hand as high as it can be raised. "What do you want to ask?" "Examine number 36013. According to this handout, there's 4 faux villains, but you only mentioned 3. Such a mistake is highly unbecoming of the reputation of UA. And you with the curly hair." He points at Izuku. He looks around confused before pointing at himself. "Me? Yes, your muttering is highly distracting. If you think that this is a game, you might as well leave." "Huh, you seem like a pleasant friend to have." "WHI, well, thank you. But please refrain from that with sarcasm. You're the only one getting distracted anyway. It's highly unbecoming of you, a future hero student, to be distracted by something like this," Izuku said with the most emotionless face he could muster. He almost felt sorry when he turned the tables on the guy, but he brought this on himself. He genuinely thought that he kept his muttering really quiet. "Pull back on that sass. Examining number 42069. Anyway, to answer your question, the 4th robot is a gimmick that wouldn't earn you any points. Also, you should really avoid it." Thank you for the answer, sir. I apologize for the interruption." "Hey, that's all on me. Before the exams, you listeners need to be reminded by this school's motto, plus ultra." Everyone cheered those words while Izuku was busy playing with his coin. They all walked to their respective areas. How much do they spend for these fake cities anyway? From my research, Shikzu only had one place with all possible populated area scenarios. Saved them more money considering they're mostly a police academy. Izuku reached his area. Area B. Bakugou was at C. He looked around and saw the girl who helped him earlier. He's still thankful for earlier. She seems nervous. Maybe I should say something. He's no expert on encouragement, but he had to try sometimes. He suddenly felt a hand on his shoulder. "Are you trying to sabotage that girl?" "Oh great, Glasses is here. You know, after all of this is done, you wouldn't be seeing me for a long time." Izuku answers. He already doesn't like Glasses. Is that a threat? Up to your own interpretation. You'll regret saying that, delinquent. Take a number and get in line. Start. Everyone instantly gave present Mike a confused stare. What are you waiting for? There's no countdown when it comes to being a hero. Everyone quickly ran into the fake city while Izuku uses his quirk to pick up a rock. He reshaped its molecules to turn it into a spike. "Alright me, don't fail me now." Then he ran inside. "So I just need to test out my quirk with OFA? Not that it matters too much. It only increases my range. Every % added in my brain, a meter worth of range gets added. It also helps me increase my concentration, which is essential in manipulating molecules. One of the few reasons why I never tried to use it on anyone. Maybe I should stop being scared of that." Izuku ponders to himself as he spots a one-pointer. He quickly launched his makeshift rock spike towards its head at an incredible speed. That's one down. He heard a laser blast and a machine getting destroyed behind him. "That machine was about to attack you, monsieur. Be careful." Thanks," he says as the weird blonde guy with the belt walks away. He walks out of the alley and spots the chestnut girl he found earlier. She's touching the bots to make them float before dropping them hard to the ground. She seems to be doing well. Now's not the time to interrupt her. He spotted a robot sneaking up on her and quickly sent his rock spikes towards it, killing it instantly. She looked back in shock as the robot falls on its side. "Hey, pay attention. That's my thanks for earlier, too." Thanks. "Why, what are you doing?" He turned around to see Glasses pointing accusingly at him with his right hand and karate chopping the air with his left. "Are you trying to attack another examinee? You should be rejected for this. You seem like you're good at judging people. A skill worthy of a stingy person to have. Are you messing with me?" "No, I'm just making fun of you. Toodles." He waves at Glasses goodbye before running off to find more robots to kill. He was running when he saw debris about to fall on an unsuspecting examinee. He quickly rushed towards them and dispersed the debris before it could hit its target. What the hell are you doing, jerk? Screw off." The girl with the weird earlobes seems thankful. "Hey, you're welcome," he responds as he went off to find more robots. "This year's examinees seem interesting, don't ya think? Hell, they're even rowdy back when we were doing an orientation. Especially that green kid with the rock spike. The purple-haired girl didn't even know that he saved her. He doesn't seem bothered by her attitude at all. The kid seems nicer than he lets on. That's real great. What do you think, bro? Truth be told, President Mike did not know of Izuku's uncaring attitude. I'm not impressed. This exam doesn't impress me the slightest. He's also distracting himself by helping other examinees who aren't even thankful. The man in the shadows said, not really caring about the exam. He already suggested it multiple times to change the exams to give kids with non-combative quirk a chance, but they never did, so he just gave up. Well, the main event is about to start anyway, a mouse said as he looks at Toshinori Yagi. Would you care to do the honors, All Might? Very well, Principal, All Might says as he presses a big red button. Okay dude, seriously just aim for the head. No need to challenge it to some kind of match. Nothing is gonna be stopping me to play fair. It's unmanly to just end it quickly. Whatever you say, Izuku says as he sends a rock spike towards the robot's head. Dude, that's so unmanly. Sure is. How unmanly of me, am I right? He chuckles as he playfully pats the red-haired examinee's back. Besides, it's not like you'll be seeing me for a long time. What do you mean? When he asked that question, the ground instantly started shaking. Watch out. The red-haired kid screams as he pushes Izuku out of the way. The debris dropped on him, but it didn't do any damage. Whoa, that was close. Thanks for the save. Hey, it's the manly thing to do. If I had 100 yen for every time he said manly, I'd probably be able to buy a couple of candies for Fubuki. Her happiness comes first, after all. He thought about his little sister. No time to think, bro. Let's run. Like, holy shit. That thing is huge, he yelled, while pointing at the giant robot the size of a skyscraper right now. Holy shit indeed. Time to use Kami's special move. He stood up and ran at the opposite direction. Every other examinee is running as well. This must be the gimmick. Why did you make it so big? A midget exclaims in fear. Everyone was busy running away, but the small kid is frozen in fear. Izuku slapped him across the face. No time to screw around. Let's go. Now, help. Izuku turns around as he sees the same girl that helped him earlier stuck under a rubble. UAS gonna stop that robot, right? He thought to himself. It's approaching her. Right. It's getting nearer. Right. At the examination room. It seems that the 0-pointer's shutdown button isn't responding. Another year, another cover-up, am I right? The mechanic says. Be quiet. The principal responds to the mechanic. If you weren't as good as you are, we would have fired you long ago. Everyone is panicking. That thing is gonna crush that girl. Every hero in the room is about to get to that area quickly, but All Might stops them. All Might, now is not the time to wait. Everyone fell silent as they saw All Might pointing at the screen. It was the same sarcastic examinee running towards the 0-pointer. This is what separates the hero from the students. All Might exclaims, be careful, please. He knew in his very soul that being careful is the last thing his successor is when he sees someone who really needs help. He saw it when he helped the cat off the tree. He saw it when he comforted a kid who got lost near the tea shop. He saw it when he saved his skinny version from a falling TV by pushing him out of the way and getting hit instead. Please, what are you doing? This is just an exam. Surely they will stop it before it hits the girl. Glasses explains to him as he blocks his path. Why are you risking yourself for such a thing? You haven't even earned enough points to pass yet. Izuku quickly pushed Glasses out of the way. Something probably went wrong. Besides, she looks like she really needed help, he says as he runs closer towards the giant. It broke my legs last time and sent me high up the air. Fuck it. He concentrates one for all on his legs and leapt. His adrenaline helped him ignore the pain as he concentrates one for all on his brain. 10% dispersion, he says as he manages to scatter the giant's molecules as he makes his way towards its head. He pulled out his lucky coin and sent it towards the head before manipulating it to destroy every inside parts of the robot. The coin went back to his hand as the robot's inside started short-circuiting. He went beyond his normal 7% limit to make sure that the robot stays dead. His nose is bleeding and his head is aching. Also, he's falling down alongside an exploding robot. Am I seriously gonna die now? Always knew those 10 months ago with Shipman was a fake out, he said before passing out only to be awakened by a hard slap. He stared at the ground though he never fell. He looked to the side to see it was the chestnut-colored hair girl that saved him. Release, she said before vomiting rainbows. He dropped down to the ground. He felt pain from his legs, but he shut down his pain receptors quickly. This is the 11th time this month, young man, a familiar voice complained. Our recovery girl, he said before getting smacked in the head by her cane. Darn right it's me. How many times do I have to tell you that you can't go around breaking your bones? Well, the robot isn't stopping, so I had to do something. Besides, I can do something. And then his quirk's effect wore off and he screamed in pain for his broken legs. Recovery girl gave an exasperated sigh before healing her patient. Here's some gummy bears. Helps you retain your energy. Thanks, he said while standing up. His coin trick worked. Good thing no one would expect a coin to do that much damage before. Everyone around him was murmuring about him. He never actually tried to acquire any points and just kept saving us. The fool. He destroyed that 0-pointer for nothing. His quirk's power is all for nothing. Hey, at least don't make it seem like you want me to hear it. The UA entrance exam was just a warm-up anyway. He brushed off all their gossips. What the hell do you even mean? It means that I just wanted to test my quirk on robots. This school is the last thing I want to attend right now. Well, it's gonna be a week before the 𝗧𝗍 entrance exam. Good luck to you guys. He salutes at them before walking away. I only got 11 points anyway, so I wouldn't have passed. You looking down on us? You think this is a game? I almost got killed, so yeah, this is probably a game. That ticked them off a lot more. Geez, calm down. I only got like 11 points. I won't pass either way. While a lot of people were angry, there were a few that silently thanked him for saving them from the giant. They were just too afraid to speak up. Glasses in particular. He risked his life for something controlled by the school. For what? To save that girl who wouldn't really be hurt. I would have done the same if this isn't an exam. I never would have sacrificed. He figured out the whole point of it all. This is the hero course. He truly is someone that I never should have underestimated. He thought to himself as he watches the one who destroyed the giant walk away without a care of whether he passed or not. He unknowingly showed everyone what it means to be a hero. Even when it costed him his chances of ever attending UA. He still saved that girl. All Might looked onto the screen proudly. This is what separates the heroes from the wannabes. The courage to save others even if it hurts or kills you. That's what a true hero is. Everyone was cheering when the examinees single-handedly destroyed the gigantic robot. That was until a phone rang. The principal picked it up. This is Principal 𝗍𝗓. How may I help you? Oh, is that you, director? Everyone held their breath when the director spoke up. Sir, with all due respect, do we have to do this? That boy wants to go to another school. I understand. 𝗍𝗓 put down the phone before looking to the staff. Unfortunately, it looks like that examinee number 42,069 will have to be forced to stay at UA. But, sir, we just can't force a child to attend our school like that. All Might tried to argue but silenced himself when the principal raised his hand. He did not say anything about not allowing the child to do any other entrance exam. If anything, he might give us a reason to expel him. The director never said we can't, too. After what he just heard, All Might's hand formed into a fist with frustration. Of course he will do everything he can to be expelled. I hate to agree with him, but putting him anywhere near young Bakugou isn't healthy. Unless, he must help his protege. A week later, get ready for the 𝗧𝗍 exam, 𝗧𝗵𝗲. Don't worry about it. I got this. Izuku answers his best friend as they entered the campus. The entrance was quite similar to UA, but the inside is smaller compared to the latter. It had pictures of past students who became great officers. There were also pictures of heroes that graduated from 𝗧𝗍. They just passed a shooting range. Everything felt simpler, to say the least. They got a lower acceptance rate than UA. They'd be accepting only 10 of us since this is mostly a police school that still had a hero course. Only 10 hero students per year, so we gotta do our best to impress them. Their exams are mostly interview anyway, from what I heard. Pretty as IMO. How they'll be interviewing us is the question. They said as they walked in a room with 3 judges. The first one is wearing something similar to a salary man. The second one looks like a detective. The third one was the police chief. Welcome you two, please take a seat. The chief said. He pointed at 2 chairs. You two are the last ones, correct? Yes, they both answered. Very well, impress us. That's why it had a low acceptance rate. We have 3 categories: combat, investigation, or trickery. Choose one. After doing that, we shall decide whether you get to attend or not. That fast. We value efficiency, after all. Besides, we wouldn't waste money on robots to give a single type of quirk a chance. We prefer good people over good quirks. Trickery then. 𝗬𝗍 answered. Then tell us, how are you going to trick us? This conversation never happened. What do you mean by that? As they asked the question, the room started to dissipate. After the process is done, Izuku spotted 𝗬𝗍 standing smugly at the door. I'll be seeing you when you ace this test, 𝗧𝗵𝗲. She waved goodbye before leaving the door. The 3 judges' sweat dropped. She didn't even bother hearing our verdict. You are her friend, correct? Tell her that she can attend in 2 weeks. So she passed, unknown to Izuku. 𝗬𝗍 was having a mental breakdown at the end of the door. What happens when I choose the other 2? In combat, you will fight a volunteer green belt or something equivalent to that from a randomly selected martial art. Without your quirk, by the way. What's the point of having a quirk if you can't fight without it? That is the main objective of combat. A blonde with temper issues came out all angry and threatened to attack us for preventing him to use his quirk in combat, in which he easily lost. We quickly rejected him as he has somehow revealed that he was doing all of this out of a grudge and prove himself superior. Heroes are not meant to think of themselves as superior. We strictly remind our students of that. How about investigation? We give you a simple case. If you solve it, you pass. If you don't, you fail. Your friend already showed you what to do with trickery. Now, tell us, what shall you choose? Izuku thought about it for a while. He's no good in trickery and he tends to overthink in mysteries, which tends to get him to the wrong answer, so investigation is out of the question. That only leaves one thing, combat. The judges nodded as they called in a volunteer combatant. He had boxing gloves. He got the right choice. You want to learn how to fight? 𝐭 asks as she's wiping her sweat off with a towel. Yes. He swayed out of the jab before countering with his own to the stomach. The boxer backed up and put on a guarding position. Remember, if your opponent is trying to dodge your attacks and wear you down, he's an outfighter. He'll make you lose your stamina and then finish you off when you're tired. Best way to deal with them. Be fast and aggressive. Get in close and hit them as much as you can. 𝐭 says as she dodges another punch from her son before delivering a light uppercut to him. She was a hybrid boxer. Also, use that new ability of yours when you have to. It seems like you can transfer energy to different parts of your body. Another dodge and another counter from his mother. He tries to concentrate more, but 𝐭 is using her quirk to pull herself back and prevent him from pulling her into an opening. He rushed the boxer quickly by jumping into the air and doing a drop kick. The fighter never expected him to fight in a different way, and neither did the judges. If he's being honest, he only learned this from when he watched pro wrestling. He thought that dropkicks were cool. The boxer didn't back down though as he stood up. The fighting ring is no time to think of plans. You need to follow your instincts and predict your opponent's next move. Simply put, be faster, think faster, hit faster. She was about to deliver a final punch to Izuku, but he reacted in a way he never thought he would try. Due to the desire to learn something, he unconsciously added 5% of one for all to his eyes. Everything slowed down in his point of view. From the flaps of a bee's wings to 𝐭's supposed punch, he moved out of the way as if it was an easy thing to dodge a punch that is an inch from your face and sent a powerful right cross to his mother's abdomen. The woman stumbled back a bit but is still standing. Not bad. You're learning something, Izuku, she says as they continued their match. She won, but he got a few punches in, which is saying a lot since she's a pro boxer. Remember, fight smarter, not harder. Fighting as a hero is different from fighting as a boxer. There is no such thing as cheating when it comes to saving civilians. Izuku, now, would you like some katsudon for dinner, sweetie? She says with a smile as she holds out a hand for him. He took it. In the present, Izuku also transferred 5% one for all to his eyes. They can't disqualify what they can't see. He dodged an uppercut that was just an inch from contacting with his chin, and he countered with a roundhouse kick to the chest. That staggered the boxer quickly, but Izuku wasn't finished. He rushed in and almost delivered a hook to the liver, if it weren't for a timer sounding off its alarm. Time's up. What do you think, sir? Is he worth it? The boxer stayed quiet for a moment before nodding. If we had more time, he would have beat me. He passed. Thank you. You may now take your leave. You will be given your compensation tomorrow. The boxer bowed before leaving through the same door he entered. As for you, you used your quirk. Izuku quickly drew in a sharp breath. And you just told us through that sharp breath of yours. You tried to be subtle and you were close to keeping it secret. You passed. What? How? You just said that I used my quirk. I should have failed. He's in shock after hearing that he passed. Who are we? Fools? Do you really think that we don't encourage students to take any advantage they can get when it comes to dealing with villains? We expect our hero students to take initiative if it means to save a civilian, even if it means fighting dirty. The only reason we rejected the previous blonde is because of his attitude and ill intentions to become a hero. We will never allow a student like him in our school. Your case is different. You had an opportunity and you took it. That's why you passed. Please try to make it more subtle next time. Still, we are excited to see what you are capable of when we maximize your potential as a hero. He thanked them, bowed, and said his goodbyes. Outside, he spotted Cammy waiting for him and told her the good news. Hell yeah, I call coffee date. This is totes mad lit, 𝐒𝐵. We are gonna kick ass, she said while hugging him. He didn't stop her this time as he was too relieved that they allowed him to do that. For the first time, he hugged her back, which shocked both of them. Another week later. Hey, 𝐒𝐵, your obligatory UA letter is here. Wanna go and see? Cammy entered the apartment as she witnesses Izuku dressed as a dragon while Fubuki is dressed like a female knight. His illusions, the great wizard of 𝐿. I told you my friend will arrive, bad dragon. Yeah. Get ready to get your butt kicked so hard that it would cause a geological event? Dragon. What's a geological event? Fubuki asked. Something you'll learn at school when you get older, little Kai. Now, what's this about a UA acceptance letter? He grabbed the hologram projector from Cammy and set it down on the table. I am here, All Might said with a shout. All Might, is he gonna be a teacher in UA, big brother? I think he is. I don't see the point of them sending this letter though. Young Midoriya, originally the principal should be the one that would inform you about your state at UA, but he requested that I be the one to tell you. He coughed nervously through the screen. Izuku and Kami thought that something's wrong. I come as a bearer of good news and bad news. The good news is, you would have failed. But who are we to deny those people who saved others? Take a look of this video. Mr. Mike, can I somehow give my points to some guy? Why is that little listener? He, saved my life and I heard that he only had 11 points before I passed out from nausea. I just thought that it would be unfair that he didn't pass because of doing the one thing a hero does, you know. The video went back to All Might. You see, young Midoriya, the girl was willing to give you some of her points to you for saving her. Call it the fruits of your labor, and for that, we awarded you rescue points. 70 points, to be exact. 60 for saving that girl from the 0-pointer, and 10 from saving participants from different hazards around the area. Combine that with your 11 villain points and you gain 81 points, making you the highest scorer in our exam. Fubuki cheered, but Izuku and Kami is not liking where this is going. Now, for the bad news, most of the teaching staff is aware that you don't want to attend UA, but the director had other plans. Who is he, you ask? He's the one truly in charge of our school. The principal just manages in his place. If he so desires it, he can shut down UA if he wanted to. Izuku is having a hard time breathing now. All Might was no longer smiling. He's kidding, right? I can't. Damn it. I'm sorry, young Midoriya, but you are to be forced to attend UA. All Might said with a grim look on his face. Big brother, what does he mean? Fubuki looked at the face of her brother with sadness laid across his face as Kami comforts him. It's gonna be okay, Izuku. We'll find a way to get you out of there, you know. Screw that director. I can't even blame All Might or UA for this. Even if I disliked that school, I wouldn't want to be the reason that it got shut down. I just wish that they didn't have to be forced to do this. Fudge. Even in his sad state, he still couldn't bear to swear in front of his little sister. Look, Shikzu starts a week after UA. There's plenty of chance that you can take to get out of there. You just gotta find it. His phone suddenly lit up from a message. It was from All Might. Altruistic Trace has started bothering procrastinating webhead at Meet Me at Dagaba Beach. Now, Altruistic Trace has stopped bothering procrastinating webhead. I need to go. Like, right now, Izuku said, standing up. All Might needs to explain this to me in person. A better explanation than the one at the hologram. I'll go with you. You don't have to. Besides, little Kai needs a playmate. He puts a hand on Kami's shoulder and gave her a reassuring smile. She sighs and nods and carried Fubuki to her playset. He left without another word. Is Big Brother going to be okay, Ms. Illusions? She stayed quiet for a moment before finally giving out an answer that she's sure about. I don't know. He ran as fast as he could towards the beach and spotted the thin blonde man waiting for him. Mr. Yagi. The man instantly looked at him with an apologetic face. Why, young Midoriya? They were running towards each other until Izuku leapt into the air. All Might instantly knew what was coming and ducked out of the way of his student's dropkick. What the hell? Why am I going to you fucking A? Midoriya, the director's word is law. Why does it have to be law? He's not even associated with the police or the government. Let me tell you the only two things that people know about him: his family name is Akira, and his family created UA. The family always had the school's best interest at heart. I don't know what he wants with you, but we need to follow what he says or the school shuts down. We can't have thousands of students suddenly being dropped out at once just for the sake of respecting the others' wishes, but here's the thing. Unless you don't mind it being put in the permanent record, you can try and give the school a reason to let you go. Why would I care about the stupid things I did that's gonna go down on a piece of paper? Ironically, Bakugou is the one worried about that. Look, being forced aside, are you okay? Is the Pope Jewish? All Might? Izuku asks. He literally isn't okay with this. Right, I get your point, young Midoriya. In fact, I was against you going to UA. Having you near Bakugou at all will not end well. The best I could do is to have you two be in a position where you can talk it out. Bakugou talking it out is like big sis not getting old sooner, like to this one crush she has. Basically speaking, not gonna happen. He firmly believed that Bakugou is one of the most, if not, the most unreasonable person he ever met. He can't believe that they used to be best friends. The worst part is, he missed those times. He shook it off and went back to the subject. Look, the point is, I'm not gonna bother with anyone unreasonable. You're being unreasonable right now. All Might got him there. Ugh, fine. Just stop us before we do anything drastic, okay? I can't trust myself to not hurt him. All Might wasn't sure whether his successor was joking or not. Then again, he's still human. Humans tend to be a lot more flawed than everyone expects themselves to be. Okay, now, let's go for a nightly jog, shall we? About that, I'm gonna have to pass it up. Why so? I kinda promised my little sister that I'd play with her right now. I always keep my promises, you know. He shrugged as he looked expectantly at his mentor. He's not actually feeling like he wants to jog right now. Very well then. I tend to forget that you are a good brother. Right. Izuku was pretty sure that All Might unknowingly gave him a backhanded compliment. The blonde superhero just seems too earnest to actually insult anyone on purpose. I'll be seeing you at UA, young Midoriya. Not for long, of course. And then he transformed and jumped off. Was that all might? Darn, how is a big guy so good at hiding? A passerby said, visibly confused. Izuku just shrugged at him and ran back to his house. He knocked on the door and 𝗵𝘃𝗲 answered it. Hey, Lil Kai, where's 𝐭𝐴𝐴? Right, here. Izuku looked further inside to see her playing Twister with 𝗧𝗵𝗲. Sis, I thought we talked about you not being that flexible. To heck with your statement, you little goose. 𝗵𝘃𝗲, spin the wheel. 𝗵𝘃𝗲 used her quirk to spin the wheel. Right foot at blue, big sis. 𝗧𝗵𝗲 struggled to put her right foot at the blue spot while Midoriya chuckles at the corner, watching his sister suffer. 𝐭𝐴𝐴 told me everything. You sure you want to get yourself kicked out of my alma mater? Yeah, you do know that Bakugou would also attend there, right? 𝗧𝗵𝗲's eyes briefly shone anger before dissipating it quickly. That jerk. Of course, he'd get in. His mom is such a nice woman. Where'd he even got that anger from? His mom is a total MILF. 𝐭𝐴𝐴 interrupted. 𝐶AMIE. What's a MILF? And then 𝗵𝘃𝗲 had to make everything awkward between the three technically adults, 2 teenagers and a 20-year-old, to be precise. Nice job, 𝐭𝐴𝐴. I'm sorry, that was real whack of me. But seriously though, didn't you say you got this crush on 𝗧𝗼? I never said that. What are you talking about? I'm pretty sure you did. I gotta be honest. I'd be gay for her. Please answer my question. 𝗵𝘃𝗲 is still unsure what the word meant. Nobody bothered answering it. And left foot on red. 𝐭𝐴𝐴 easily put her foot between 𝗧𝗵𝗲's legs and smiled smugly at her. You wanna go? What you gonna do 'bout it, fam? Can't beat me without your quirk. Quirk or miss, I guess you can't quirk, huh? Wait, no, that sounded better in my head. Not as lit as I freaking thought. Well, a MILF is another meaning for a nice woman. Just don't call older women like Mama MILF, alright. They preferred nice woman. Okay, big brother. Oh, and you guys better stop arguing. I am not cleaning up your mess again. He warned the 2 girls playing Twister. Hey, I'm the older sibling here, and I'm the mature one. Fair enough. Right hand at yellow. 𝗧𝗵𝗲 struggled to reach yellow with her right hand, but she fell on top of 𝐭𝐴𝐴 and the force made 𝐭𝐴𝐴 fall as well. PFFD, huh? I knew you were freaking whack. Like, holy moly, you suck so much at Twister. Alright, that's it. 𝗧𝗵𝗲 activated her quirk and every doll lifted itself. 𝐭𝐴𝐴 started breathing out multiple illusions. Izuku facepalmed as he hides 𝗵𝘃𝗲 and himself behind the couch. Don't get involved with this, me. Don't just do it. And then the two clashed. Okay, seriously, 𝗧𝗵𝗲, you're 20 years old and a hero. You can't just use your quirk on people, Hisashi said while picking up multiple objects launched at each other. Yes, Papa. And 𝐭𝐴𝐴, for the love of God, I don't want to go home and open the door to a winter wonderland. Sorry, Izuku, good job putting your little sister undercover, but try to stop these two sometimes. Izuku just nodded. His dad got a point. Your mom's gonna kill me. You say that as if she actually could, Dad. She's a world champion, Tatsu. What am I gonna do? Dodge. I sometimes wonder who wears the pants in this family. Izuku said bluntly. Hey, just help me out here and go to sleep. 𝐭𝐴𝐴, go home. You live next door. You got hero work tomorrow, Tatsu. Izuku is apparently going to UA. Congratulations, I'm making Katsuden. This is so bittersweet. Izuku deadpanned at his dad, conflicted on whether he should enjoy that Katsuden or not. Even then, he enjoyed it. Sleep, however, he didn't enjoy it. The next week, 1 week left to be expelled. You got everything you need. Yes, Dad. Kick their ass, sweetie. I don't think I'm legally allowed to do that, Mom. Metaphorically kick their ass, sweetie. Izuku was pretty sure that 𝗵𝘃𝗲 is still here. That's Mom and Dad's problem. He waved goodbye and went his way to UA. As he was walking, he's already developing plans on how to get out of that school. Going by how All Might described the director, he'll probably make sure that I can't drop out. Guess I'm gonna have to do everything they told me not to do so I wouldn't get expelled. I did hear about an entire class getting expelled last year by a teacher who had his standards too high. Maybe I could drop below that. He rode his train to UA, and once he got there, he stared at the big gate in front of him. Here goes nothing. Damn, that's a pretty big door. Must be for gigantification quirks. I just hope that Glasses Guy and Bakugou isn't on the same class as me. He was about to reach for the doorknob but stopped an inch from it as he facepalmed. I jinxed it, didn't I? He opened the door and saw exactly who he didn't want to see every day. Please put your foot down the desk. This is utter disrespect to the seniors who have sat here before us, Who are you, extra? Bakugou's reply caught Ada off guard. That worked where he came from, didn't it? He's a big fish in a small pond, like Bakugou. The only problem is, he's got a huge stick up his ass. Would probably let someone die if it means following the rules. I'm 𝗂𝗃𝗃 from 𝗬𝗵𝗲 High. 𝗬𝗵𝗲, a shitty elitist then. I can't wait to fuck your ass. Again, Bakugou's phrasing needs work. I'm sorry, but sexual encounters are not and will never be allowed in any school. Everyone instantly deadpanned towards the stick-up-his-ass guy as he said that out loud. Izuku's facepalm was loud enough to get his attention. I get it. Geez, can you keep your voice down? You're like every moment my dad turns up Michael Bubble's sway every time he and mom start dancing in the bedroom. In the middle of the fucking night, the stares are now directed to him. I'm afraid that would be too much information. Who are you? It doesn't matter who I am. And then he punched 𝐻𝐸𝐵 in the stomach. Hard. Tell that to the teacher and for the love of God, beg him to expel me. Now everyone's just confused on what he's doing. Aside from punching me right now, I have misjudged you. You figured out the secret of the exam. What secret? You're telling me that you don't know. That same fucking secret screwed me over. I wanted to go to Shiketsu, away from that prick. Izuku points his thumb at Bakugou as the blonde instantly jumped off his seat to try and hit Izuku with an explosion. Izuku dodged it as it hits 𝐻𝐸𝐵 instead. Hey, you're the guy who beat that 0-pointer. Nice to meet ya. He turns around to see the same girl he saved back at the entrance exam. He has mixed feelings right now, partially upset that she's part of why he's here and happy that she made it. Hey, he ignored 𝐻𝐸𝐵 getting angry with Bakugou for hitting him with his quirk. If you're here to make friends, then you might as well leave. Both of them looked down to see a caterpillar of a man staring up at them. And then he drank from the juice box before standing up. Really? Well, see you guys. He was about to leave, but a hand grabbed at his bag and dragged him back in the classroom. His momentary happiness was gone. It took all of you 8 seconds to settle down. What a waste of time. Think more rationally next time. I'm your homeroom teacher, Aizawa shouted, by the way. Just call me Sir Aizawa. He says as he throws Izuku to his sit. Anyway, we're doing a test. What about the orientation? Raise your hands if you want to sit through a boring orientation. You can take a wild guess on who raised his hand here. Majority wins. Let's go. They were all in the activities uniform when Sir Aizawa finally came. You're all late. Weren't we the first to get here? Everyone thought. First, they had to deal with 2 delinquents. Now they have a hellish teacher. Maybe the green-haired kid was onto something when he wanted to get expelled. All of you did a gym test without your quirks, correct? To make this quick, we're doing that but with quirks. Bakugou, get over here. You got the most villain points. He threw the ball at Bakugou and the blonde caught it easily. Of course I got the most points. I'm the best. I only said you had the most villain points. The number 1 is, unfortunately, a very unwilling student among us, which is Midoriya. He says as he points towards Izuku. Is he trying to expose me? Seriously? I don't need any unwanted attention. The class immediately flocks towards him. Seriously? Him? A blonde with a black stripe on his hair said. This jerk. Ain't that the earphone jack girl? Oh man, he's seriously getting all the girls. Is this purple midget kidding him? Look, 𝐸𝐸 screwed me over. You all know how much I wanted to go to Shiketsu instead. Why? I mean, 𝐸𝐸's the best. The blonde guy said. He's not doing his research. If it's the best, why are there recommendation students? They got in because they had connections. Not only that prick over there with the ball got in. He's pretty sure he just offended whoever the recommended students in his class are. Oh come on, man. He can't be that bad. Izuku stayed quiet after he heard that. Well, you're in for a treat. Silence. Bakugou, how far did you throw that ball back in middle school? Aizawa asks the currently fuming teen. He couldn't believe that worthless fucking shit got the number 1 instead of him. To make it worse, Deku doesn't even want to be here. That means he wasn't even trying when he beat Bakugou. 77 meters. Throw this, but with your quirk. Bakugou smirked as he did some stretches before readying himself. Die. He screams as he throws the ball far off with his explosions. Everyone stared in awe as the ball went flying off. It's very important for us to know our limits. That's the first step to becoming a hero. Aizawa explains as he shows Bakugou's score. It was 705. 2 meters. The class cheered for some reason. We can seriously use our quirks in the hero course. Izuku had a feeling that this black-striped blonde isn't the sharpest tool in the shed. Or maybe he wasn't even sharp to begin with. This is awesome. Awesome, you say. The eternal insomniac suddenly perks up. You're going to become heroes. You think this is just for fun. Don't make me laugh. How's this for awesome? The one with the lowest score gets expelled. Except for you, Midoriya. Director's orders. Fuck. He didn't expect that. He slightly lost hope when Aizawa said that. I might as well go for last place. I don't actually want any of these guys to get expelled on the first day. That's Bakugou's job. First we got 50-meter dash. The timer won't start until you cross the start line and won't stop until you cross the finish line. To do this more quickly, we'll be doing this by pair. He ordered 𝐸𝐸𝐵 and a green-haired girl to position themselves at the start line. Start, the teacher said, clearly bored. 𝐸𝐸𝐵 started off fast and finished in no time while the girl just hopped to the finish line. Frog girl. How cool. Everyone did pretty much have the same score with the exception of 𝐸𝐸𝐵. The last one to race was Midoriya. And Bakugou. I'll leave you in the dust, you useless fucking nerd. Whatever. Start. Bakugou blasted his way to the finish line, almost beating Ida. He turned back to give a smirk at Izuku only for it to fall down as he sees the latter just walking casually at the finish line. What the fuck are you doing, Deku? You looking down on me? No, since he won't expel me even if I had the lowest score, I might as well get me the lowest score so that no one gets expelled. I've heard of this asshole. He's serious about expelling us. Izuku shrugged, definitely uninterested in an activity where he won't receive the consequences for losing. Watch your language, the teacher said. What are you gonna do? Expel me? Aizawa's eyes widened in shock for a brief moment as he realized that he can't actually expel this one unless it's actually at the most extreme circumstances. Well, you only get detention for today then. Fine with me. How could you take such a thing lightly? Ida proclaimed as he does karate chops in the air. Maybe because I am forced to attend this fucking school. I'm not gonna bother following their rules since it won't get me expelled if I didn't. Don't get me wrong, most of you guys except Bakugou are cool, but I prefer not to be near that guy. The activities went the same way with Izuku getting the lowest score in every one of them. The students were silently thankful for him willing to take the fall but are still not risking it. The ball throw finally came up as everyone decided to let loose on this one. Well, everyone who can. One girl created a cannon to shoot the ball out of. Another summoned a shadow that extended itself from the user and threw the ball far away. Uraraka technically had the highest since she got an infinite score just by making the ball worthless. The last to throw them was Izuku. He checked the ball's weight and was about to give it a weak throw until he got wrapped by bandages. Every activity, you didn't give it your all. Do you want to be expelled? Yes. It shut Aizawa up quick. Did he seriously forget about it quick or is he just insulting my intelligence? Fine. Do as you please. See if you have what it takes to get yourself expelled. You're wasting your time. He retracts his bandages as he looks challengingly at Izuku. Alrighty then. He might actually take this one a lot more seriously than the other activities. He charged up his telekinetic push with 5% one for all and threw it at Aizawa. The man bent as the ball hit him directly at the stomach as he was forced to kneel down. Am I expelled yet? It took every will from Aizawa to not expel that boy then and there. The class was too shocked at what they saw. They saw a boy willing to do anything to get what he wants. They could not blame him though, as his reasoning was justifiable. 3 hours. Detention. Later, and he realized that he made it worse on himself. One more try, Aizawa says as he picks up the ball and throws it at Izuku. What happens when the ball gets destroyed? You get an infinite score. That wouldn't be possible though, as that ball is made to be nearly indestructible. Aizawa stares as Izuku just disperses the ball. He quickly looked at the measuring device to see it at infinite. Alright, let's just wrap this up. Aizawa silently cursed the director for not allowing him to expel Izuku right then and there. He agreed with everyone that someone shouldn't be forced to attend a school that they never wanted to attend. Now he's paying for the director's mistake. He calculated most of the scores with infinite only counting as a large sum of points. It's just as Izuku predicted, he got last place. I guess nobody's getting expelled today, the student before him said cockily. He can't believe that the boy was right. There was a loud cheer as the students managed to keep their place here. The only redeeming thing that Izuku did to Aizawa is by ruining it. Oh yeah, if this is what the first day is like, imagine the rest of the year. Good luck. I'll probably be expelled by then. Little did the students know, Aizawa smiled crazily at that notion. After that minor inconvenience, the day went on as normal. Nothing out of the ordinary. Izuku did have to serve his detention time for 3 hours. It was pretty boring. How much time do I have left, sir? You got 30 minutes, Aizawa says before going back to sleep. You're a racerhead, right? That quickly piqued his interest as that wakes him up quickly. Not a lot of people knew who I am. Criminals did say something about a guy with a binding scarf and goggles capturing them. You seem to fit the description. Exactly how I thought you'd look like. Underground heroes tend to actively avoid attention from the media. Or maybe because you don't want them to find out about your quirk. Not like it'd help much. Everyone depends on their quirks nowadays. Not everyone. You get my point, sir. Izuku's phone rang. Aizawa raised an eyebrow and nodded at his student. Big sis, how's work today? Get to the hospital. What are you what? What happened? Shit. You don't worry about it. And calm, I swear, I'm calm. And no, I didn't stutter. I am fine. You just worry about what's happening there, alright. Bye. He looked at Aizawa with pleading eyes. What happened? My best friend and little sister are at the hospital. Can I go early? He's begging him. Aizawa would have relished in this if it weren't for the fact that this was a serious case. You'll serve 1 hour the day after tomorrow. Right. Thanks. Bye. He was fuming as he's walking back home. He felt humiliated. He felt inferior. He needed something to let his anger out on. Then and there, his wish came true. He saw a blonde bitch and a little girl. He always got away with these things, so he did what he wanted. He used his quirk, grabbed the blonde bitch by the hair and sucker punch her in the face. He knew that little girl's face from somewhere. He enjoyed hurting her. Like how he'll hurt him. He'll hurt that fucker so bad he wished that he was never born. He hurt the girl a little more. He didn't care if she was crying. His feelings and needs always come first. And mister, please, stop. The more you beg, the more it will hurt, you little bitch. I have to thank you. You were at the right place at the right time. I needed to get my anger off of me, he said and smirked as he hurts her to the point of her screaming. If you tell anyone who attacked you, I will crawl under your bed at night and kill you. Do you hear me, little bitch? Do you hear me? Why yes, she was crying. He dealt the final blow and sent her to the wall. He walked away, satisfied as he realized who she was. Izuku entered the hospital and walked hurriedly to the counter. Where's the room for Midoriya Fubuki? He asked the lady at the counter. She blew her gum until it popped. Room 413. Don't worry, kid, doctor's got this. Why yes, thank you. He ran quickly to the elevator and practically punched the number 4. That was the longest 20 seconds in his life. He looked around until he finally saw room 413 down the hallway. He opened the door quickly but gently. There he saw his older sister sitting next to Fubuki, who was sleeping. Kami was also there along with his mom and dad. She had a bandaged cheek. Bro, I'm sorry, she said as soon as she saw him. Shut the fuck up. Why you got hurt too? You don't have to say you're sorry. He was trying his best not to stutter. This only happened a few times. Sweetie, you're stuttering. Are you blaming yourself? It's not your fault. No one could have known that this would happen. That's the P problem, and mom. It still F happened. IW wasn't there. Maybe if UAH hadn't forced me to attend, IW would have been T there. Instantly his mother stood up and everyone in the room then and there felt killing intent. Right, I forgot to tell her about that. UA did what? Honey, let's calm down and think rationally here. It's the director, isn't it? Once he took an interest in a student, he will want them in his school. That's how Toshinori got stuck in Gen Ed for an entire year in his first year. Toshinori, isn't that All Might? He got stuck in Gen Ed in his first year. That son of a gun. He screwed you over. He made Toshinori's life hell in Gen Ed before finally allowing him to get to the hero course by the second year. Just pretend that you don't know. He thought to himself. Ms. Midoriya, I don't want to interrupt in this family matter since that would be kinda whack, but I got a question for you. Shoot away, Kami. You're family to me. Alright, but who's this Toshinori? My best friend. He's probably doing well in America right now as a professional hero named Gold Lightning. He tends to be secretive about his work. Do you tend to be secretive about your work, Tatsumaki? Only in really confidential cases, Mom. I thought you'd be more interest, Mom. She pouts. Big sis, you already look like a little kid, but there's no point acting like one. What you say? That's beside the point. Kami, what the hell happened? All I heard was some large bang and the next thing that happened was me whacking up in a hospital. Some kinda psychedelic shit if you ask me. But Fubuki, she got the worst of it. She has third-degree burns on her fucking arms, and all I got away with is a fucking bruised cheek. What the fuck? I should be the one that gets hurt like that. I'm a goddamn adult. Kami, you're the same age as I am. And please stop being an idiot and blaming yourself. You got sucker punched. He looks back at Fubuki. Third-degree burns. Someone with a fire quirk. I never knew anyone other than Dad with a fire quirk. He felt a hand on his shoulder. Izuku, look, I know you're worried and I won't stop you from getting worried, but I'm the one with the hero license here. Leave this to me, your older sister, and continue on with your UA. I'm trying to get myself expelled, big sis. Really? You tried to give the director a reason to expel you? His mom intervenes. Color me impressed. Honey, don't encourage him in breaking the rules. Only if the one who made them is a dick, honey. Listen to your sister, sweetie. She'll find the one responsible for this. Don't let it distract you. I'll be fine on my own, Izaburo. Don't worry about it. That fuck won't get an inch in on me anytime soon. Izuku looked at all of them and gave out a very tired sigh. I just hope this ends well. Second day. Usually he would have just casually walked in the classroom right now. The only problem, there's probably a metaphorical rain cloud on his head. Everyone felt it and suddenly felt gloomy themselves. Fucking Deku. He ignored Bakugou as he went directly to his seat, which is unfortunately behind the explosive blonde. Izuku, why are you in a bad mood? He heard a girl's voice as he lifted his head up and saw that it was Uraraka. Little sister and best friend got attacked by some cunt. No, I don't want to talk about it. What came next are his classmates apologizing. Apologies ain't gonna help Lil Kai. Midoriya, why must you be so gloomy? Can't you see that your negative emotions are affecting the class as well? Hey, Ida, have you ever heard about getting a clue? He asked, clearly not in the mood of arguing with him. Read the mood, Sonic. The green guy's upset. Or maybe you don't care about the fact that his sister got attacked, says a guy with a tail. So the class is not entirely filled with assholes. That's great. Ida gets flustered and quickly did a perfect 90-degree bow. and apologized to Izuku as if he's apologizing to the Prime Minister himself. Their teacher finally got in the classroom and started the class. As the day went on, Izuku's mood just got worse, with Bakugou constantly insulting him for no reason and other cases of bad luck, like some blonde guy from class 1B accidentally spilling his juice on him. He used his quirk to dry himself by taking away all the juice, molecule by molecule. The day's almost over though, since there's just one class left. I am coming through this door like a normal person. People usually have a different perspective of what normal is, he thought as the class got excited about All Might being their foundational heroics teacher. Only Izuku knew that All Might is not the best teacher. Hey, how are you so unimpressed? That's All Might right there. The midget behind him was practically shaking his back. He never bothered learning his name since he's trying to find a way to expel himself either way. Today, we will be doing battle training. That riled a certain person he knew up. Shouldn't we be doing basic training first? Asked the frog girl. The battlefield is usually the best teacher when it comes to this. You got your costumes from the school's contracted support company. We may put this to good use right now. Everyone got their costume from a support company. As for Izuku, his dad made it himself. It was not a fun time. Dad, are you sure that injecting those nanomachines into me is a good idea? Trust me, I didn't get my degree in engineering if I didn't know what I was doing. Probably. Saying probably makes me less willing to actually do 𝐒𝐲𝗧𝗏. He flinched as his dad injected him with nanomachines. He didn't feel anything coursing through his veins. He used his quirk and now he definitely felt something. The machines were small enough for him to be able to pull out of his body. Dad, how did you even make this? Guy had a microscopic eye quirk and another guy with ultra precision helped me make this. He pulled nanomachines out of his body and it formed a blade. He tested it and it was sharp enough to cut through wood. Hey, don't use it on the furniture. Also, watch this. Focus your quirk to make the nanomachines appear on your chest area. He did what he was told. His dad pulled out a brass knuckle and punched the part covered with nanomachines. Yeah, that works as great as I made it to be. Heat is still effective against you since it will probably fry you alive. Just saying. The three of you only inherited a very small heat resistance from me. Like, the only flames that won't hurt you is the one from the lighter. His dad was a lot smarter than him, but he's also somehow afraid of his own wife. Now that the first part of your costume is over, let's get over with the aesthetic part. He came out of the tunnel wearing his costume. He's wearing a tight black shirt with green stripes on them under an intentionally tattered black and green trench coat. He had combat pants and boots with the same color as his shirt. His gloves and boots have grip tech that lets him stick to vertical surfaces like a spider. It was also made with small, individual materials that lets him manipulate it with his quirk and give him a minor jump boost. His final piece was his specialized green goggles that lets him track down invisible enemies and protect his eyes. His nanomachines are safely hidden inside his body. Everyone's got a cool costume, he thought as he looked at all of them. Izuku, hey, you got a super cool costume. He turned around to see 𝗂𝗏 in her space-themed outfit. I should have been more specific with mine since this feels a little too tight. I'm pretty sure that the tight costume helps a lot more. I mean, the less the villains can grab from you the better, I guess. She scratched the back of her head as she nodded in agreement. The hero course really is the best, he heard the midget say. Pervert. Dang, I knew I never should have gotten last place. All Might finally came in as he does a head count on all of them. Probably late so he could save his time and energy. Sir, will we be using this entire city as part of our lesson? Nope. We'll be starting small and do an indoor battle. Inexperienced villains tend to take their battles outside, but the smarter ones will definitely take it inside enclosed spaces and numerous doorways. All Might had a point. Hostages are easier to keep inside and buildings to hide in are better than going outside and hoping for the best with their quirks. What condition decides the winner? Can I just send people to the ICU? Will you expel us if we lose? How do we decide the teams? Is my cape fabulous? One at a time. Okay, so I'll get back to you on that. Young Bakugou, do you really think I would allow that? I am not a racerhead. I was just about to go there. Yes, your cape looks great. I don't like where this is going. You'll be split into two teams. A villain team and a hero team will face off in a 2-on-2 indoor battle. The teams will be picked by drawing lots. Sir, is random teaming the best option? Because everything in life can be done with order and control, and there is no possible way that heroes might have to team up at random. Am I right? What do you mean, Midoriya? The fact that you don't even understand that makes me want to explain it to you less. Tone down that sarcasm, young Midoriya. What he meant by that, young, is that pro-heroes tend to team up with other agencies on the spot during an emergency. You must learn to work together even if you are unfamiliar with each other. Oh, I apologize for that assumption. All Might started drawing lots. Midoriya ended up being teamed with 𝗂𝗏. Nice, we get to work with each other. Yeah, just let me take the hits. That worried 𝗂𝗏 quickly. Hey, I won't feel the pain. Trust me on this one. She just nodded. Ada was unlucky enough to be teamed with Bakugou though. Don't get in my fucking way, glasses. Is that how you really treat your teammate? I could have done this on my own. Moving on, the first ones to fight are. All Might immediately put both his hands in two boxes that has been there the whole time. Team A and Team D. Midoriya choked on his spit. Bakugou was on Team D. All Might. If you wanted us to talk it out, I don't think battle training is the best fucking way to do it. He thought his deadpanned at All Might, who only gave him a thumbs up while he sweat dropped. He turned around to see Bakugou with a feral grin on him. He honestly doesn't like where this is going. The villain team goes in and prepares a way to defend and hide the bomb in 5 minutes. After time is up, the hero team sneaks in. The villain team wins if they defend the bomb for 15 minutes, while the hero team wins if they capture the bomb or both the villains. The rest of us will be watching through the CCTVs. I will stop you if you take it too far. Assuming the role of the villain pains me. So, we merely have to guard this. I don't care. I'm going after that useless piece of shit Deku. He may be rough around the edges, but I humbly ask you to not charge straight at Midori. His bad mood might make him lash out. Fuck you. I'm the one who deserves to be here. Not him, not you, and not anyone in that fucking class. After this, I'll make him bow down and kiss my fucking feet. Maybe steal his bitch. Bakugou, you can't just say 𝐻𝐻 tried to reprimand him, but the blonde is already gone. You may not be the greatest person, but please be careful, Midoriya. Little did Bakugou know, All Might heard it. The hero was severely disappointed in him. Outside, Izuku and Uraraka was busy memorizing the building's layout. You look out of it. Do you feel sick? Nope. Bakugou and I go way back. One thing you should know about him, God complex. Oh, and don't try to date him. He's definitely the abusive type. And he kinda bullies me for no reason. The bottom line is, he's a jerk. Which is why I don't want to lose to him. So you're like destined rivals. Not even close. Sorry if that shit bored you. Don't worry about it. We're a team. Yeah, I guess we are. He goes back to looking at the ground. We are. Are you ready? Mr. All Might, don't scream into our ears. Sorry, are you ready to start? Yes. Then let the battle training commence. They're not going to put the bomb on the ground floor. Uraraka, use your quirk to make yourself lighter and climb on my back. She complied as she touched her chest and got on his back. He climbed up to the 3rd floor. They made it through an open window and deactivated Uraraka's quirk. Bakugou's gonna try to come after me. If he does, run the opposite direction. I can piss him off enough to keep his attention on me. Are you sure? Surprise, bitch. Bakugou suddenly comes out of the corner and unleashed an explosion. Midoriya infused 5% one for all to his eyes, which helped him react quickly. His current max output of All Might's quirk is 11%, but his limbs still automatically use 100%. Over the week before UA, he learned a few things from All Might. He collected the air in front of him and blasted it out and sent Bakugou to the ceiling while also repelling his explosion. Suddenly releasing compressed air makes a pretty good ranged attack. Uraraka, run. She hesitated a little bit but ran away to find the bomb. Guess I'm left for dead. Now, you can't possibly stay down with 𝐻. He was cut off with an explosion to the face. His eyes were protected by his goggles. Bakugou went in to unleash a more powerful explosion from his right hand, but Izuku just sidestepped before judo flipping Bakugou into the ground. You can't seriously think that I wouldn't know what your moves are. I'm practically your practice dummy. Fuck you. He screams as he unleashes another explosion, which Izuku easily dodges with his bullet time eyes. He quickly deactivated it since it gives him eye strain if he keeps it activated for too long. Stand still. Not in the mood to stand still, Bakugou, he says as he dodges another one. He parries another one as he grabs Bakugou's face and delivered it to his knee. Great delivery. Be sure to rate it at Yelp. Shut the fuck up. You looking down on me? No, I'm just making fun of you. Toodles. That only pissed him off more. He ran away while the blonde was still dazed and pissed. He activated his earpiece to contact with Uraraka. Where you at? I found the bomb room, but it seems like Ida is guarding it. Don't enter the room yet. Okay, where the fuck are you? Bakugou screams as he bursts through the wall. Izuku didn't have time to react, so he was blown back to another wall. He heard him snort. He looked up to see Bakugou snorting and snickering. I know you want to laugh at me, but is battle training the best time? Heh, the way you got thrown into that wall, you remind of that little girl. What? The way I blasted her into the wall, after I knocked her blonde babysitter bitch with a punch to the cheek. What? He doesn't like the connections. He doesn't like how he's seeing everything connect. He's starting to realize that now. He just hopes it's a fake story. Now that I think about it, she looks a lot like you. Maybe she's your sister. If that's the case, that made it much more satisfying. Bakugou's laugh set Izuku off. His green goggles started glowing a lot greener. The wall behind him began dispersing. Bakugou was still cackling without a care in the world. He stood up. He felt power surging through him. 100% piss, 20% one for all, 0% mercy. So, it was you? Huh, wait, it was your sister. Nice. Bakugou couldn't finish laughing as a fist made contact with his stomach and sent him through the wall. He felt much more pain than he should have. He's still feeling pain even after getting crashed into the wall. I could always shut down my pain receptors, but I could also make anyone else's much more sensitive. The pain you're feeling right now is the air surrounding you. If you stand up, you're not gonna like what happens next. 𝐵𝘃𝗧𝗏. Don't overdo it. He heard All Might, but he didn't care. He heard another voice. Do it. He hurt the people you cared about. Who are you? I am the first holder of One for All. This quirk was made to vanquish evil. Well, vanquish this monster now. That's not how I work. Do it. He was about to reply, but he saw Bakugou stand up and he was instantly reminded of what the blonde did to his sister. He rushed to him by manipulating the nanomachines inside him with his quirk and shot it out like a string of webs. He made it wrap around Bakugou before pulling him in and delivering a jab to the blonde's already messed up face. Did you seriously think that you can hurt my little sister? Huh, you want to piss me off? Here's what happens when you piss me off, cunt. 𝗃𝗵𝗲𝗄𝐴. Calm yourself, please. What's happening, Izuku? Wait, did Bakugou mention how he attacked your sister? He ignored what Uraraka said. He took off his earpiece and dissolved it. All Might, what's happening? One of the students asked the superhero. Midoriya, young Bakugou, why would you take it so far as to hurt young Midoriya's sister? You have done this to yourself. This is also my fault as I pitted them against each other. Midoriya, please don't let your emotions get in the way. Don't make the same mistake as I did. Someone stop him. Nah, the girl with the earphone jack said. Midoriya is a jerk, but he's pissed for a reason. Bakugou was the one who attacked his sister. Enhanced hearing is pretty useful nowadays. Am I right, Shoji? She asked the boy with extra arms and he nodded nervously. So why would Bakugou attack his sister? I don't know. She shrugs as she watches Izuku dropkick Bakugou through 3 different walls and then chokeslamming the blonde into a random table. She honestly doesn't know, but I gotta say. Holy shit, don't piss that guy off. She adds, I'm running out of time. If I go there now, who knows what will happen if I just deflate then and there. There has to be some option that I can use. There's only one option left. I never thought I'd call her for this. All Might grabs his phone and went into his contacts. In Midoriya, he's still standing up. Fuck you. I enjoyed every single second of what I did to that little bitch. The explosive student roars as he lets out another big explosion. It hit Izuku, but the raging student's pain receptors were shut down at that moment. He's suffering burns that he can't even feel. Why won't you just die? Bakugou keeps screaming as he sends out more blasts. Izuku dodged this time as he goes under the blonde's arm before uppercutting it. The arm bent upwards as Bakugou howls in pain. Izuku was using his telekinetic powers to forcefully pull his arm and fist upwards and create a harder punching force. He didn't give the blonde any more time to scream as he dropkicks him into the wall. What the fuck is with you and dropkicks, you sick fuck? Sick fuck. That's rich coming from you, he says as he punches the blonde's head and left a crack on the wall. You think it's great that you beat up a defenseless kid like that? That just 'cause you're strong, you can get away with it? Well, you did a bloody good job getting away with it. An elbow to the jaw countered by an explosion to the face. It broke his goggles, revealing his eyes glowing in a very intense green color. Must be fun now that you're at the receiving end of a beating, ain't it? Pretty fucking lit. Bloody hell, Kami's accent is growing on me. Kami, that blonde bitch. I should have touched her a lot more when she was Bakugou was interrupted when he felt something pull at his teeth. Izuku pulled it out with his quirk as blood gushes out of the blonde's mouth. I only pulled out half of your lower teeth, he says as he uses said teeth to impale Bakugou's arm. Bakugou screams in pain as his own teeth pierces through his skin. Stop. You didn't stop when my sister was already begging for you to stop. The world does love revolving around you, doesn't it? He gives a punch aimed at the gut, causing the blonde to vomit. Okay, that's mildly disgusting. I never should have punched you in the gut. I regret that one. That's right, give him what he deserves. The voice in his head is back. Get out of my head, old man. I can't. I'm part of you now since I created One for All. You're doing God's work here, kid. Kill him. What? You heard me. Kill him. That immediately snapped Izuku out of his rage. I'm not killing him. You seriously think I'd stoop down to his level? You so-called heroes in this stereotypical stoop down to blah blah level. This is why Toshinori almost failed to defeat my brother. Izuku's fist shook for a second, but he roared as he sends out a final punch to Bakugou's face, knocking him out cold. Shut up. It looks like I already beat him within an inch of his life. Recovery girl can still heal. Hi motherfuck, the fucking pain receptors are active again. Yep, this is how my sister felt. Jegus, that hurts. He was about to walk away until he somehow got forcefully slammed down to the ground. He hears a familiar voice as he passes out. Jegus, little bro, how are you even capable of doing this? It's a good thing I placed that empathy link on you. How did mom even know that you're pissed right now? Tatsumaki walks with Ida and Uraraka to the room the class is in while the medbots escort Izuku and Bakugou to Recovery Girls Clinic. The students were excited and scared to see the young rising hero, Tornado, among them. All Might, you got some explaining to do. Why the fuck did you put my little brother in the same match as that prick blonde? I'm not that much into lolis. Boo the midget didn't finish his sentence as he was then buried into the ground by 𝗧𝗵𝗲. The class backs away in fear. That's what's gonna happen to you if you don't explain to me right now. Like mother, like daughter, he thought to himself as he sweats nervously through his smile. I knew about their issues with one another. I just didn't expect it to happen this way. Bakugou attacked my little sister and my brother's best friend. I'll be reporting that to the principal right now, she says before floating away. She turned her head slightly around. And oh might, the villains call me the tornado of terror. You really don't want to know why they called me that. And then she floats away for real. What? The class screams in unison when they know that the levitating hero was gone. She's his older sister. Well, they do care a lot about their family. Ida exclaims in shock while doing karate chops in the air. All right, calm down. For now, let's move this to another building. This might have become a horrible incident, but you should focus on this class right now. Young Ida, I'm putting you in charge. He hands the young hero in training the microphone before telling him the location of the next class. What about you, All Might? I'll be over at the clinic and fixing my mistake. You don't need to tell me everything that happened in great detail. The cameras will automatically record it. The hero walks away and leaves the class. Everyone was concerned for Izuku, but they pushed it back down in hopes of continuing their class. They can't continue. 𝗧𝗵𝗲 was furious, to say the least. What do you mean I can't take Bakugou custody? He attacked a minor with his quirk. Everything floated inside the clinic, but the principal kept calm. It's the director this, director that. His family may have created this school, but I'm not letting him continue on with this bullshit. I'm not. The phone suddenly began ringing. Nezu answered it and his frown turned into a smile. You're in luck. The director made a compromise. Your brother is allowed to leave this school for good, but he has to finish this week. The damages he has done to a potential hero is counted as an extreme condition, which leaves him no choice but to expel him to save face. Potential hero. That little shit attacked my sister and my brother's best friend. I'm taking him in. The phone rang again. Nezu answered it again. The director says that the school will keep Bakugou at a very short leash. Any aggressive actions towards any student will lead to immediate punishment. There's also an alternative. You can take Bakugou to custody, but we will keep Midoriya in this school. The hero growled in anger as this left her no choice. She was about to answer until a familiar voice did it for her. Keep Bakugou then. She turned around to see her brother awakened with bandages all over his arms and torso. You're still not okay, Izuku, take a rest. I can stand, he argued. 𝗧𝗵𝗲 knew that there was no point as her brother already made up his mind. Why do you even want Yue to keep him? I'm not satisfied with the conditions though. Whatever that short leash is, make it a lot shorter. He attacked my sister and I think me beating the shit out of him is already enough. Another thing, what he did to my sister. Tell the entire school about it, but don't allow them to share it to any social media so that they'll be able to avoid his wrath. He tells Nezu, who nods and went back to speaking with the director. You didn't answer my question, Izuku. I want the world to know who they're cheering for. He answers nothing more than that. 𝗧𝗵𝗲 instantly got what he said. She didn't bother arguing. Excuse me, the director agrees with your terms. You are officially expelled after this week. I wish you luck in other schools, Midoriya. Finally, he sat down on a chair feeling relieved. He only needed to finish this week and he's already on his way to Shigatsu. You're already healed enough to walk, young man. Go back to your classroom. Recovery girl intervenes. 5 more minutes. She smacks him with her cane. Now, all right, he says as he exits the door with 𝗧𝗵𝗲. Don't get that angry again. You know how annoying it is to slam my own sibling's face to the ground to calm him down, right? She said as she flies away. He was on his way until he met All Might. He looked away, but he needed to tell him something. All Might, we need to talk. About our quirk. Later, he says before walking away. Later, at my office, after class. Sorry, it's fine. If you hadn't paired us up, I wouldn't have found out. Sorry it got messy. He opened the door to his classroom and suddenly felt multiple gazes at him. You guys look like you've seen a villain streaking around Tokyo. Don't ask where I got that idea. Izuku, you're all right. Mostly. Good news, after this week, I'm officially expelled. The class doesn't know whether they should cheer or jeer that good news. Bad news, Bakugou stays in here, even if he attacked a civilian. A kid. Okay, let's move on before I walk back to the clinic and finish what I started. Everyone jeered at the bad news. Oh, and red hair, what's your name? Kirishima Ijiru. I guess Bakugou's not as bad as he looks, like you said, right? Oh come on dude, you don't have to put a salt on that wound. Which is why I'm throwing that same wand down the Dead Sea. He countered with a chuckle. The day's pretty much over. I'm going to visit my sister. And no, none of you are going with me. He glared at most of them except for one. Why does most of my friends consist of girls? Okay, to be fair, my only friends are 2 girls. I really need to get out more. Oh wait, I still need to talk with All Might. What is it that you want to talk about? One for all, young Midoriya. The The deflated hero asks his protege. It spoke to me. That immediately caused All Might to spit out blood. Scary. I thought you'd know about this since you're the previous holder. I have seen visions, but I never heard a voice before, especially the one that belonged to the first one. Perhaps it's time to tell you the story of One for All. Izuku closed in as he listens to All Might's story. There were two brothers. Let me guess. You don't know their names, so you settled with One for All and All for One. All Might spat out blood again in shock. How could you possibly know about All for One? I mean, if there's One for All, there's gotta be All for One, right? The voice did mention about having a brother, someone you almost failed to defeat. Is this about the fight that gave you your injury? Yes, All for One injured me beyond repair, but I made sure that he's gone for good. You shouldn't worry about him anymore. He killed my master, the holder of One for All before me. She bought me time to escape before. When I finally faced him, he used my emotions against me. That caused me to make a mistake. You made my same mistake today, young Midoriya. You let your emotions get the better of you. Don't worry, I understand why. He attacked your sister despite you, but please, try your best to keep a rational mind. Izuku nodded. All Might had a point. He lost control today, but he may as well do his damn best to not repeat the same mistake again. Anyway, back to the story. All for One had a quirk that's beyond every other quirk. His quirk is All for One, the quirk with the ability to take and give other quirks. How uncreative can he get? Izuku snarked, hoping to trick himself of the possibility of a villain like that ever existing. Moving on, his brother, on the other hand, was thought to be quirkless. All for One loved him very much, or at least that's what the people thought. I have no doubt that that villain does not care for anyone but himself. Even then, he gave his brother a simple quirk that stocks up power. Little did they know, the brother always had a quirk of his own, the ability to pass down his quirk to another person. That mixed itself with the quirk that All for One gave him, thus giving birth to One for All. The quirk created to defeat All for One. 8 generations later, at least, the brother tried to defeat All for One, but he never could. At the verge of his death, he passed it on to another person, and the cycle repeats itself. It all comes down to you, my successor. Since All for One is now gone, you can give One for All a new purpose. Become the pillar of this country if you want, or become its silent protector. As long as it is used with good intentions, you can do as you please with One for All. All Might, all I have to say is, you're a very bad storyteller. That was the truth. I was meaning to tell you all of this later, but it seems like you have finally achieved expulsion. I don't know whether I should apologize or congratulate you. Can you visit my sister, like in your hero form? That's the least you can do. Then it is done. Do not worry, young Midoriya. If you need advice, you can contact me anytime here at UA. Don't let Shikzu become a barrier between us. And also, about that favor I asked for, you might want to brace yourself. I'll keep that in mind, he said as he stood up and went off to the hospital with Mr. Yagi. I'm sorry, Izuku says with a bow in front of his temporary classmates. They all stared at him with a confused look. The guy with blonde hair with black stripes on his head speaks up first. Sorry for what? To put it simply, being an asshole. I was trying to find a way to get expelled, and I figured that acting a little bit like Bakugou would get me to that point. You're telling me that the way you acted was a little bit like Bakugou. Like, throw a ball at Sir Aizawa's balls. That's just a little bit of that guy's personality. It was a good thing that the director suspended Bakugou for one day as an act of goodwill. Otherwise, Bakugou probably would have killed this blonde. I'm not going so far as to hurt kids. Makes sense. That being said, I never bothered learning your names because I knew that I won't be staying here for long. Okay, maybe I do know some of you. 3 of you. Technically 4. There was a chorus of groans that followed after he said that. You done? Get to your seat. Sir Aizawa came in on time to start class. Okay, maybe the class had to watch the sleepy hero crawl to the desk like a caterpillar before standing up and unzipping his sleeping bag. First of all, I would like to make a brief discussion about your disastrous second day, also known to the staff as angry blonde guy gets pounded by a smaller kid. Or maybe that's just midnight, I don't care. Midoriya, I cannot fully express how joyful I am to hear the news that you are finally expelled, he said with a creepy smile. Glad to hear you being happy, sir. You haven't been that happy ever since Ms. Joke found out how much you're actually overcompensating. Midoriya quipped. Kaminari and Mineta snorted since they're the only one who got the joke. Putting that joke aside, I've seen your fight. You lacked power in your right hook, and pulling out your opponent's teeth isn't necessary if you could just knock them out. No need for extra brutality. Police report once said that you broke a guy's arms and legs. How did you even gain access to such a confidential information, Midoriya? Ada intervenes with his usual air chops. Izuku still wonders the day those chops can save a life. As for Bakugou, the director told me to not expel him, much to my discomfort of teaching a student who's willing to attack a child in order to spite someone. To put it worse, a hero in training attacked said child. I'll still find suitable ways to punish him in the future. Perhaps give him a touch of reality. This discussion is over. For now, you're picking a class representative. Immediately after that, everyone started telling each other how they should be the class representative. Wait, how about we vote? We live in a dictatorship. The blonde with black stripes suddenly screams, prompting everyone to deadpan at him. Sorry, all right, now we know who to not vote for. He's, what's your name? Kaminari Denki. Yeah, don't vote for him if you don't want a dictatorship. You're not gonna let me live that down, are you, Midoriya? Depends. They started voting after that. Everyone pretty much voted for themselves except for Izuku, who technically isn't even a student in UA anymore, and a few others. Just as expected, everyone had at least a single vote on them except for one, Yaoyorozu. The only ones who didn't get a vote was Izuku, Ida, and Todoroki. We got a class rep, but we need a vice rep. Izuku said the obvious in case that anyone doesn't realize already. Let's add a twist. He pulled a pack of straws from his bag and held them in his hand. Whoever gets the longest straw gets to be vice rep. Are we truly using this method to choose such important position? Sir Aizawa, are you allowing this? I don't care. Just finish up. He went back to sleep. Ida started ranting about how unbecoming this is to Aizawa as a teacher of UA and was promptly and appropriately ignored. Everyone was excited to see who would pull the longest straw. Okay, so the person that got the longest straw is. That's pretty unexpected, Shoji. Izuku points at the big guy and claps his hand. Do I deserve the position of vice rep? You'll do fine. Trust the straw. Again, another rant from Ida as to how unbecoming it is of a former UA student to rely on a straw, and again, he was ignored. Lunch came around and Izuku is sitting with Uraraka, Ida, and the newly invited Shoji. I still cannot fathom how our vice rep is chosen by simple straws. Trust the straws, Ida. Izuku also wanted to say that Ida would be an annoying leader, but he left that out. Some things are best left unsaid. Just then, the alarm started blazing and the students started panicking. What's happening? That's a third-class alarm. Someone's invading the school, Ida explained. Everyone deadpanned at him. He gave them an exasperated sigh. Do you people read the manual? Manual? Ida face-bombed at that. Jay, just hurry along. Everyone started going along. It was pretty orderly until they got into the hallway. Izuku and Shoji got separated from the group in the sea of students and they were pushed near the windows. Ugh, this is worse than that time Mom brought us to a Black Friday sale in America. Midoriya, look. He looked out the window that Shoji is pointing out of to see that it's just a bunch of news reporters. How the living hell did those reporters get in? I was having a good lunch. Having a good lunch is the least of our worries right now, Midoriya. They suddenly heard a pain cry and turned to it. It was the tailed guy trying to protect the invisible girl who accidentally tripped in the chaos. Shit. We gotta stop these guys before they crush our classmates. You got any ideas? Izuku doesn't have much of an idea. He tends to plan things if it means that either no one's getting hurt or it's just him getting hurt. He looked reliantly at Shoji, hoping that he's not as shy as he looks. What's the extent of your telekinesis? Biggest size I can manipulate is a head, while the smallest is a molecule. Living things are harder to do it on since I'd rather not accidentally rip their skin out. My sister can easily move people though. I see. There goes my plan. Unless you can manipulate air, correct? The moment Shoji asked that, Izuku quickly realized where his tall classmate is going with. You want me to use the air and launch you up and get their attention? That would be very beneficial for all of us. Izuku concentrated and tried to gather as much air as he could under Shoji's wings, limbs, he never knew what to call them. He gently picked him, the big guy, up and make sure he lands on a platform in front of the exit sign. Everyone, please calm down and look at the window. Everyone suddenly took a peek outside and only saw a bunch of nosy reporters. It's not as bad as it looks, but rules are still rules, so you have to walk out in a calm fashion. That, and you tried to crush my classmates, the big guy says as he points towards his classmates that Izuku was attending to. Izuku held his hand out to Anjiro and he accepted it. Anjiro then picked Hagakure up. Nice plan you got there, Midoriya. Not mine, he figured it out, Izuku said as he pointed to Shoji. He's not much of a guy to love spotlight. Everything went on for the rest of the day and nothing much happened. And then the three little pigs lived happily ever after. Izuku finished up the story to Fubuki. I don't think they actually beat up the big bad wolf, big brother. Yeah, that was my version. I like the old one better. Sorry, Izuku had mixed feelings about that. Then again, he's not much of a storyteller. I've been recording your freaking entire story, 𝗧𝗵𝗲. It's whack. Wait, what? Screw it. I don't care if you upload it. Nah, I'll just remind you how crappy you are at storytelling. Did you have to throw the wound into the Dead Sea, 𝐴𝐚𝐲? Huh, lit thing to say, even for you. Wait, that's a backhanded compliment if I see one. PSSH. Anyway, I saw Bakugou jerk get wheeled in yesterday. You got any explanation for that? Did I miss some lit buckery? Fill us in on the details, man. He had to censor some parts of that story so his little sister could listen in as well. Even then, it was still pretty brutal. You don't have to do that for us, you know. He said that he should have done more to you in my face. You seriously think I'm not gonna be mad after he said that? Right, understandable, have a nice day. Izuku face-palmed when she said that. He sometimes wished that he doesn't understand memes. Cammy please. Understandable, have a nice shut up. Unshut. Yeet. Shuwash. It went on for hours and Fubuki just looked confused at the two arguing teenagers. Even after all that, this is still a normal day for the three of them. Except they're at the hospital this time, not at the apartment. Today we'll be having a special class overseen by me and All Might. Most of the class groaned loudly but was immediately silenced after Aizawa glares at them. You'll soon become heroes. You should be ready for disappointments. Oh, and Bakugou, I can't expel you but don't think I'll let you get away with what you did. Yes, sir. The explosive boy growled as he tries to stealthily scowl at Izuku behind him. The other boy just smiled and waved. Ghêghêgh𝐻𝐽. You're like a rabid lion. Fuck did you say to me, you little 3 days detention effective immediately? Bakugou. Fuck you. Make that 5 days. Back to the topic at hand. We'll be doing rescue training. The lazier students groaned again until Aizawa glared at them again. Up to you whether you want to wear your costumes or not. Some are not suited for the activity. Everyone quickly got ready after that since they were excited for more hero training. Where are your goggles, Izuku? Wouldn't it be easier for you to spot people with those things on? Would be, but it's still getting repaired and upgraded. Some kind of send-off gift for me. Makes sense. You know, I thought you were a jerk for a while but you seem pretty cool. Wanna hang out after school? The pink-skinned girl cuts in, doing normal pink-skinned girl stuff. Sorry, I'm into redheads. That was a half-truth. Isn't pink an offshoot of red? Honestly, you're too annoying for me to hang out with. Who are you again? That was a truth. At least, that was Izuku's perspective. The girl pouted in annoyance before answering him. Mina Ashido, and don't you forget it. I probably will. Are you messing with me? No, I'm just making fun of you. Toodles, Izuku says before quickly getting inside the bus with Uraraka. He sat beside the frog girl while Uraraka stayed beside the tall girl. I'm Tsuyu but you can call me Tsu. The frog girl tells him, hey, I usually say what's on my mind. Shoot, your quirk resembles All Might's. It doesn't. You dropkicked a person into 3 walls. That's just how my telekinesis works. I'm manipulating my feet to kick harder than it should be and combining it with the energy I manipulated. Technically, that energy is one for all, but he played it off as part of the list of things that he can manipulate. It's still a pretty weak one though. Hey, at least you got an interesting quirk, dude. All I got is hardening. Getting hard's not bad. Wait, no, that didn't sound right. I mean, unlike you, I can't tank any hits. I won't feel it, but it'll still affect me. Shutting down pain receptors ain't gonna stop a broken arm. You'd be a cool hero if you weren't held back by your honor-bound BS. The last one was unsaid, but he really did think of that. You really think that, bro? Right, but the guys who's really gonna get popular are the ones with the flashiest quirks, like Todoroki. Bakugou is an exception. Fuck did you say to me, frog face? See, prove my point. I'll fucking kill. Why? Bakugou tried to open his mouth but he couldn't. I just learned that. I just realized that yes, I can keep your mouth shut if I hold onto your lower jaw. How freaking useful is that? Izuku said. He forgot that he can do that. As a matter of fact, can I turn water to ice by compressing its molecules to form a solid? That could be useful, seeing as how Bakugou having a personality like crap getting dipped in sewage sauce combined with the willingness to hurt a kid. I won't be surprised if the industry would kick him out quickly. He agrees with Kaminari on that part. Also, that was unusually smart of him to say. Weird. Everyone shut up, we're here. They went outside to see a large dome-shaped building in front of them. We'll be doing our rescue training here. They all went inside to encounter another hero inside. 13. Uraraka exclaimed loudly, which shocked Izuku, who was beside her for a bit. Welcome to the unforeseen simulation joint, everyone. 13. Where's All Might? Aizawa asks. He's busy. 13 answers while holding up 3 of their fingers. He ran out of time today. Too bad. Izuku thought to himself. That man is 5 times more irrational than the average student. Aizawa groans in annoyance when he says that. They then proceeded to talk about rescue training and how dangerous some heroes' quirks can be. Izuku listened to most of it until he noticed something appearing at the center. He raised his arm. Yes, Midoriya. What's that? He pointed at the now growing mist which has started summoning people with weird costumes. It took Izuku a moment to realize what that was, but Aizawa beat him to the answer. Those are villains. 13. Evacuate the students. Hey Kurogiri, where's All Might? I do not know, Shigaraki. The schedule said that he should be here. Damn it. Well, we might as well kill these kids while we're at it. Okay, boys, do your thing. The villains cheered as they ran towards the students. I know you can fight, sir, but you look outnumbered. Don't worry about it, just go. The Erasure hero jumped down to stairs and started unleashing hell at the villains threatening to attack the student. 13 started evacuating the students who were busy panicking. So the rescue training is about rescuing us. Nah, no time to joke. He turned around to see the black mist appearing in front of everyone. I apologize in advance, but I cannot let you leave here alive. How about I kill you instead? Bakugou screams as he charges at the mist. You're not killing anyone today. 𝗧𝗵𝗲 follows ahead but not too closely to Bakugou. It looked like they hit their mark, but the black mist looks undamaged. That was a close one. Be gone. The mist started surrounding everyone, including Izuku, and the next thing he knew, he's in the water with a shark ready to bite him. Where is everyone? Can anyone find any information on the location? Ida screams at the top of his lungs, panicking. Calm down, Ida. They're still inside the USJ. Shoji answers him and everyone sighed in relief. He identified the ones who managed to stay in the entrance as Uraraka, Ashido, Zero, Sadu, 13, Ida, and himself. He analyzed the situation using his quirk and came with a conclusion. There's no way that they'll be able to find their way down there to retrieve their classmates. Physical attacks can't do shit against him. This guy's quirk got some great uses, Zero concluded as he slowly backs away. Shoji couldn't blame the tape user. Ida, you're the fastest of all of us. You need to run away to get help, Shoji and 13 says simultaneously. The alarms aren't sounding even when Eraser's using his quirk down there. The guy interfering with the alarm must be well hidden. You're our best option of getting any help. I can't abandon my class. It is my duty. No, Shoji interrupts him. It is my duty as vice rep to make sure that everyone stays safe, or at the very least, not dead. 13 ordered you to get help and he is correct. You are our best option. So go get help, Ida. That is an order. Ida was hesitant at first, but the vice rep's unintended intimidating aura when getting in charge has beaten him. He started running for the door. You're not getting away. The mist interrupted as he tries to cover Ida with his mist. He was quickly pulled away when 13 finally activated their quirk. Oh no, you don't. You're just a nuisance. You specialize in rescue, but you always were clumsy when it comes to combat. The mist answers back as a portal appeared behind the space hero and started using their own quirk against them. If it weren't for the fact that they could quickly shut it down, 13 would have been disintegrated by their own quirk. Now that you have been dealt with, the mist started going back to Ida. Shoji had to move quickly or else they would all be dead. He did the only thing he could do right now and put himself on harm's way, covering the forming mist with his entire body. Go, Ida. Shoji looked down to see that the mist has already disappeared. Already, he looks back to Ida with the mist starting to form again. He used his quirk to try and find any weaknesses and he found it. It was faint, but he can smell it. There's something solid inside it and it's metallic. He created more eyes with his quirk and saw a piece of metal that looks like it fits as a collar. Uraraka, use your quirk on that metallic object, now. Right. She quickly rushed towards it and touched it. Zero, put a tape on it. He did what he said. He didn't need to tell Sadu what to do next as the sugar man already launched the mist portal out of the way. Ida has finally made it through the door. Hurry. Holy shit, is that a shark? What type of rescue are we supposed to do? Izuku looked stoic on this outside, but he's definitely panicking. He can't concentrate since water is making it hard to breathe alongside the fear of getting his body ripped in half by a shark. Luckily enough, the talking shark gets dropkicked by a familiar person. Midoriya, Asui, call me Tsu, she said while they're swimming towards the boat. Nah, and then he got thrown into the boat. Hard. Turns out, he's stuck here with Tsuyu and the midget. The midget also got thrown into the boat. Hard. And then he started crying. What are we gonna do? We're gonna die. We're gonna fucking die. That earned him a tongue slap from Tsuyu. Thank you, Tsu. No problem, Midoriya. He looked out the boat to see the villains with water-related quirks taunting them. Well, tried taunting them. Those are like sweet nothings compared to what Bakugou says to him when they were kids. Based on my analysis, they're stupid. Can you elaborate? No, they just are. Anyway, we're probably gonna have to fight our way out of this one. Fight. F-I-I-I-G-H-T. What the fuck? Are you insane? These guys are probably tough enough to beat All Might. Actually, no, let's just wait for All Might to come save us. That earned him a slap from Izuku, who used his telekinesis to power up the slap and to make the midget's pain receptor a little bit more sensitive. Alright, you know what? I have been holding it all in for this week, but I think now's the fucking time to just let it all out. You're a fucking idiot. UAS a piece of shit school that forced me to attend here. The director's an even bigger dick than a guy who says it's part of God's plan at every funeral they go to. You are an absolute piece of shit. I have been observing you from the fucking start. Why the fuck do you even want to be a hero? To get laid? To get popular with the ladies? Are you just gonna run away when the villains come? How could you even call yourself a hero if you just choose to cry and panic? Huh. You never should have been a hero. Hell, you should have just gave up. Newsflash, nobody's ever gonna love you. Whether you try to act cool or you act like yourself, like those shitty advice from rom-coms. Seriously, fuck you. Actually, no, he turned to the villains in the water. I have had a shitty week and I am not gonna let you fuckers ruin it any further. He was immediately slapped in the cheek with Tsuyu's tongue. He rubbed it before turning to Tsuyu. saying all that felt great, especially the part where I tell this guy that no one's ever gonna love him. Which is true. Thanks for making sure that I don't make it worse for the three of us. No problem, Midoriya. Back to planning. Tsuyu acted like nothing happened while the midget is too shocked at what he just heard. I already know that your quirk gives you frog abilities, but are there any things that I should know? I can secrete toxic fluid from my skin or spit it out from my mouth. That's good to know. How about you, midget? It's 𝗵𝗲. You haven't earned the right to be called my classmate yet, so you're staying with midget, you undeserving fuck. That earned him another slap from Tsuyu. Thanks. No problem, Midoriya. I can stick my hairballs to any surface. In short, my balls are sticky. Right. Well, you guys know what to do, he said as he climbs over the railing. That caused another panic from 𝗵𝗲. What are you doing? Are you trying to die? Maybe, maybe not. Tsu, grab us with your tongue and jump off the boat and into the surface land after my attack. Okay. She nodded. Izuku aims his finger at the water and made a hand gesture similar to a gun. He started collecting the air around him while the villains on the water just looked confused. He released and the air pierced through the water and created a giant wave that launched the villains into the air. Tsuyu quickly grabbed Midoriya with her tongue while carried 𝗵𝗲 with her like a baby. You know, I could teach you a few things so you can get more creative. Still here, old man. I died at the ripe age of 37. And not that old. Yeah, you should keep quiet for a moment. And one for all did stay quiet as Izuku conjures up more plans of escape that he could use. 𝗵𝗲 looked down at the whirlpool created by the sheer bursting potential of Izuku's quirk. He thought back on what Izuku told him earlier. How could you even call yourself a hero if you just choose to cry and panic? Huh, you never should have been a hero. Nobody's ever gonna love you. Undeserving fuck. Grrr. Midoriya, why do you have to be so right? He cried, feeling frustrated, as he throws his balls at the whirlpool and eventually got all the water villains stuck together. They landed safely near the shore just in time to see Eraserhead fighting against the pale guy. The moment the pale guy touched his arm, it started crumbling. It only stopped when their teacher used his quirk on the pale man. Suddenly, the pale man backed away and let a big monster crush Aizawa. Behold, the anti-symbol of peace, Namu. The pale guy with the hand fetish said. That thing took out Eraserhead. Aizawa tried staring at the Namu again, but it breaks another arm and caused the injured hero to scream in pain. It has more quirks, too. Wait, kid, what did you just say? More quirks. I knew it. Knew what? I'll tell you later. For now, focus on escaping. Just then, the same black mist has started materializing next to the pale man. Shigaraki, one of the students, have escaped. The pale man then started scratching his neck vigorously as his breathing speeds up. Kurogiri, if you weren't our exit out of here, I would have disintegrated you by now. He finally stopped scratching his neck. Oh well, if the pro heroes are gonna come anyway but All Might isn't, I might as well leave them a lovely gift, a dead student. Izuku didn't even see Shigaraki coming as he places his hand on Tsuyu's face. He could almost imagine her face crumbling in front of his eyes, but it never happened. He turned back to see Aizawa staring desperately at Shigaraki. You really are cool, Eraserhead, Shigaraki says as the Namu slams Aizawa's face to the ground, leaving a small crater. Izuku quickly knocks Shigaraki's hand away from Tsuyu and used his quirk to make another wind blast. He wasn't concentrating hard enough at the time, so the power was weak. Shigaraki merely chuckled while being pushed back by a weak breeze. Is that all this noob got? Namu, hold him. The Namu was too fast for him, even with his bullet eyes. Kid, you seem to be in a bit of a fix. How the fuck are you calm right now? Only because I know that you could easily beat this thing. How? Find it out yourself. I'm about to die here. Your quirk lets you control molecules and anything bigger than a molecule but smaller than a head. That includes cells, tissues, organs, and other stuff. He still didn't get it. Why would one for all say that? Until it hit him. He's not gonna like it. In fact, he hates it. But it's either that thing or everybody else. He can't believe that the first user is right sometimes. Come on, at least be a challenge. Shigaraki taunts. He's enjoying this and that'll eventually be his downfall. First, Izuku needed to stall him. Tsuyu and 𝗵𝗲 is frozen in fear, so he's gonna have to talk. Good thing he's decent at talking. So, is that thing human? Not anymore. Poor fuck. Never knew how many quirks Sensei injected into him. Sensei, just as I suspected, the first user said with a pained voice. Izuku did not like this. What? Focus on surviving this thing first. Tsuyu, that's what happens when a lot of quirks get shoved into you. Pretty much, noob. And that thing can beat All Might? He asked. Shigaraki nods suspiciously as he slowly backs away. That's just what Izuku needed. Distance between him and instant death number 2. Now he only needs to beat instant death number 1. So what you're saying is, Namu is the sister to All Might's paper. You're lame for putting it that way. Think of it as a ghost, dark type before Fairy got along. If this guy wasn't so murderous, Izuku would have been friends with him. Shigaraki continued backing away for a bit. That's enough distance, kid. At the bare minimum, at least. Gee, thanks. Well, I gotta say, compared to that, my quirk's useless. All it does is it makes me move small things telekinetically. Totally situational. Shitty quirk. Izuku smiled at that. He always had this creepy smile that just makes people who don't know him back away by reflex. He never knew that he could use it as a weapon until now. Good thing this is a good situation to use it, Izuku says as he looks at the Namu's exposed brain. I need less concentration if it's outside, which is why I needed Shigaraki at a distance. Now you're learning, kid. What are you saying, noob? What I'm saying is, he used one for all to enhance his telekinesis to make sure the Namu goes down. He ripped apart the Namu's brain, molecule by molecule. It slowly let go of him before falling down to the ground. Your Namu can't regenerate without a brain. That thing may be the sister to All Might's paper, but I'm the fucking rock. What the fuck? You cheated. Fucking hacker. You're dead. He started running towards Izuku with his hands out. Izuku was just staring at him. How dare that fucking hacker noob just stare at me, right? And Shigaraki stops midway as he feels a sharp pain in his chest. Kurogiri quickly got near him. What's happening, Shigaraki? It hurts, he wailed as he clutches his chest. Kurogiri stared at the teenager in front of them. What did you do to Shigaraki? I needed to make sure he's far enough for me to do it. I also needed to concentrate too. I blocked the blood passage in his heart muscle. I gave him a heart attack. You better leave now, or he'll die. The mist continued to glare at him before looking back at Shigaraki, who's clutching his chest in pain. He starts covering Shigaraki and starts disappearing. Before they're completely gone, Shigaraki's head appeared behind the portal. You'll pay for this, he said, before finally disappearing. Izuku finally let himself fall on his butt. He started hyperventilating. Holy shit, I can't believe that worked. But that's not the worst part. I killed a guy. I killed someone. Fuck. He's technically not human anymore, but still. Fuck. I'm a murderer. Shit. He was currently rocking back and forth as he's hugging his knees. Smack. A tongue slaps him across the cheek for the final time. He quickly snapped out of his mental breakdown. Thanks again, Tsuyu. Sorry you had to see me become a murderer. You did what you have to. Otherwise, we'll be dead. Still, you're a hero to me, not a murderer. Now let's get Aizawa. I am here. Great timing, All Might. Don't blame All Might, kid. You know he already passed his time limit. I'm not saying I blame him, but his timing can't get any worse than this. That, I can agree with. The first user tells Izuku as they watched the teachers clean house with the remaining villains. The police came shortly after that and they were mostly interviewed as witnesses. The ringleader calls himself Shigaraki, and it seems like his second in command is the portal guy named Kurogiri. Their secret weapon to kill All Might was that big bird thing right there. The thing that I killed, he told the detective, who calls himself as 𝗂𝗵𝗲, the truth. The detective was slightly shocked at first but then gave a face of understanding. It was your classmates or them, Midoriya. All Might intervenes, now in his weak form. They were currently in the clinic. I killed someone. Well, it used to be a person, but it still was a person at some point. Midoriya, I'm not saying it's okay to kill, but there was no other choice there. I'm not so foolish to tell you to get over it quickly, so if you want and when you're ready, you can talk to me. Or any one of your family, for that matter. All Might explains, which slightly lessened the weight on Izuku's shoulder. The detective nodded before asking more questions. What quirk does Shigaraki have? This Kurogiri fellow seems like he has a warping quirk. What's the quirk of the big one? Shigaraki had a disintegration quirk in the Namu. Shigaraki said that it had a lot of quirks. I just don't know specifically what the quirks are. All Might spat out blood in shock of what he had heard. Multiple quirks. It can't be. You do know what that means, kid. All for one. He's alive. Not the news I wanted to hear, but unfortunately, yes. That's why it felt oddly familiar to me. All for one. All Might answered a question that everyone in the clinic was asking. 𝗂𝗵𝗲 coughed nervously. Yeah, I think that's enough interviews for today. Rest easy, kid. He pats Izuku on the shoulder before walking out of the clinic. Young Midoriya, let me handle All for one. No, your problem just became mine when you gave your quirk to me. We're facing him together if that day ever comes. He told All Might with a determined look on his face. I wish I could say the same, young Midoriya. I might not always be by your side,